And if
Preston.
well,
I love it, Preston. I
UFO
love it.
Oh,
Paranormal
Preston, alien Preston.
I'm talking away here.
Sorry.
Welcome. Happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, they're all piling in now. We got some people. We got Michael Kennedy. We got Kevin Z. Son Dragon. We got Brandon. We got Patrick Kelly. Happy Halloween, everybody. We're glad you're here. If you like what you see, please like and share. Also subscribe, because we more the merrier, right, everybody? We got all the hosts so far. We're going to be more popping in. Shall I introduce everybody?
Let's get the show on the road.
Okay, in our top left-hand corner, we have the wonderful, amazing Michelle Desrochers, our station manager and host of The Outer Realm. And then there's me. I'm Laura Lee Potvin. I'm a host also here, obviously, because it's a host panel. I'm the host of the Angel Rock and also the Thing at the Foot of the Bed. In the bottom left-hand corner, Sean Kelly. It's supposed to be your show tonight, and it completely escaped my mind for just one sec. What's the name of your show again, Sean? And I know it.
Into the Night.
And that's so simple. And
Patrick Kelly's my brother.
Oh, your brother. Hi, Sean's brother, Patrick. You were very nice because this is your show spot. And then we have Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron. Now you guys are going to have to, so I don't screw up the name of your show. What's the name of your show?
The Light Gate.
That was easy too. Welcome, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Happy
Trying to make
Halloween.
my stuff work.
I know. People will be stepping in soon.
I'm not on camera.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. You're on camera.
Am I?
Dr.
Okay.
Yana's joining us tonight, apparently.
Oh, cool.
I know. I know.
So Yana's our new host, right? That'll be moving into the Monday night slot.
Yeah. The Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It's called Science and Paranormal.
Cool. Wow.
I know. And of course, her premiere show is later on this evening with yours truly, who shall remain nameless. I know. So it should be good. So this is fun. We do this every year. We try to. Last year I couldn't make it. I was like, dang, but I had a little person in my life who, it was really into Halloween last year, and family first. So
my kid's hitting me up for a t-shirt, and he's on his own. Mom, can you make me a t-shirt for tomorrow? It's like, honey, like this day has just flown by, and we haven't had that many kids. Did you guys get kids? Any of you?
Yes, we had 150 in the first hour.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's like a mortgage payment.
You know what? We passed that. We got 4 boxes of microwave popcorn. That is the way to go. It really is.
Yeah, bang, bam, bam. Wow.
I make up bags for the kids, and then because I'll probably never be a grandparent, I have little ones on each side of me, and then the house over. So I go out and shop and spoil them. And so I dropped all those off with my younger son who lives at home here. And then we've been waiting. Everybody's all dressed up here. We're all waiting. And it was all the naughty kids. We call them the bike gang because they get around here. And we were sitting outside, and they're kind of looking at us like they're going to walk around. We said, Happy Halloween. I got a big thing of candy out. You think they'd come?
Right. That's okay. I like the little ones. They were coming up, and they weren't sure what to make of me. So I just and I think they're so cute. So I'm giving them extra just because
we had no little ones.
And little. You want to eat them up for real.
oh my! I tell you, the biggest costume around my area was that dinosaur that you see on the video.
Oh, the blow up one.
Yeah, the poor dudes, man. They were trying to handle their candy and stuff like that. It was funnier now.
That's hilarious.
We had no good ones. We had one guy. I was just sitting outside before we went live. And he kind of walks by. He's about probably 5 or 6, and he kind of looks over, and he just keeps going. And I said, "Happy Halloween!" And he goes, "Oh!" And he goes, "Trick or treat." I go, "Where's your bag?" And of course, the parents had the bag.
Yeah, of course. I know.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I know. I was just grateful. We got like 20 kids, but it's just like our neighbors are saying we don't get kids here. I'm like, what? We don't care. We're decorating. We're just gonna be kid magnets.
It wouldn't do us any good. We live out in the middle of nowhere. There's no kids to find us.
Kids either.
Same. We've never had kids. This is the first year, in years.
We live up in the mountains in the Blue Ridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
What they do here is that they'll come from different boroughs, different parts of Pittsburgh, and
Wow.
drop them off right here in Dormont. And
Right.
oh my God, yeah.
There's a whack of kids.
Oh
So,
my,
like it's Halloween, right? And
yeah.
we've just had this partial eclipse. We've had the wolf moon. We've had like all kinds of really awesome energy and vibes. And has anybody had any like weird experiences in the last? Well, except for Dolly. Dolly always has weird experiences.
I do too.
But anybody else get any weird experiences?
I did. I last like 4 or 5 days. I don't know what was wrong. It just seems like that everybody was angry at everybody. No one was smiling at each other. No one was, it was like all about me. They were like zombies. They would just like start walking and not turn their heads. They would just be mean. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You know?
We
I'm
got
happy
weird.
when people are friendly.
Yeah, well, here everybody's pretty well friendly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're in
Absolutely.
Canada, us too, and I don't know who else is it. Where it's, I haven't met you yet, Dolly and Preston.
Oh.
So nice to meet you. I know it was
Hi.
really nice.
Yeah.
With my friend Lorley, my friend
Yeah.
Sean.
We're in the
My friend Preston
southeast
and Dolly.
United States, lower southeast. We're in Georgia in the Blue Ridge. And we're about 15 minutes from Tennessee and 25 minutes from North Carolina. So
Oh,
It
well,
is so
David, I don't know
beautiful
if he's
down there.
coming or not. He's a really good friend of mine and co-host for Thursday night show. He's in North Carolina.
oh wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have some good friends in North Carolina too. So yeah.
I told him to come. He's never in not a great mood. He's always happy. And he said, I'm not in a very good mood today. I said, you'll be in a great mood. We'll be talking about the things you love to talk about. So I said, no pressure, but
Yeah, and this is putting it up to everybody in chat. This is still like a show. So we're gonna gabber on, but you're gonna have like all these hosts on who deal in all similar things, different things, different perspectives. This is a really great opportunity to ask questions. There you
yes.
go, Preston.
Yeah. Say something,
Everybody
Preston.
going.
I
Yes.
haven't heard you talking with that mask on yet. There you go. Okay.
Right?
My name is Crouton. I am from Klingon.
Where?
Preston, why don't you can link your page if you so choose. It's up to you, but feel free. Anybody can link their pages if they want. We've got Sean's YouTube page up here because we hijacked his Showtime.
Yes.
So it's like there we
know.
are. But it is great, and it is a great opportunity for people to ask questions, share their own experiences. Just kind of like an open mic panel with a whole lot of people who can chime in and have a good time. We do have more hosts coming, so that will be awesome. I know Bart's going to be showing up. Amelia should chime in at about 8:30.
I don't know. Carrie Lynn was supposed to come. Oh, here she is right now. Last of the trick-or-treaters. She'll be on her way. She's just setting up her microphone because you know what? I was on Carrie Lynn's show and she came up with the coolest questions because she said to me, she's on Spirit Switchboard. If you haven't seen her, you need to watch her show.
She's delightful.
5 to 7.
Friend for years.
She asked me the funniest, awesomest questions because she goes, do you mind if we get silly? They weren't silly. They were fun. The one that stayed with me, I told her, and nobody has ever asked me this, being on a show as a guest or anything. She asked me who my fangirl crush was on anybody that was in the paranormal world. And I have never thought of that.
I'd have to give that thought. Thank you, Ed. And the same to you from UPRN.
Yeah, Howie, the Riff Network. Yeah, definitely. So, no, but we used to do this, Michelle, remember? Sean, I think you were already here, but we had a spot open. So we used to do a paranormal panel, and it was so awesome.
Every Monday.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Every Monday we did. And they did really well. People really liked them. And we just got... I think we just ended up filling the spot. We had a show that really needed that time spot, which was, I think, the 8 o'clock spot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
yep.
so now we've got Phil and Julia Siracusa on Horsefly Chronicles. They'll be chiming in as well.
Yeah, they're supposed to be trying to drop by. They got all the grandkids, but she said they're going to try and drop by.
And we just did our first Q&A yesterday, so we had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, that's good. You
Awesome.
guys did really good on that Q&A.
Thank
No,
you.
it's fun.
It was exhausting, just saying. We got off. I thought
I
I'm not kidding you. It's like
recognizing
going
who that
to
is.
a debrief, you know?
Yeah, you
Sasquatch.
guys had a really good response. You had a lot of people there, which
Me
was
shot
great.
the Squatch. Me love JoJo.
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 Oh,
Aw.
Joe.
Is it Joe? I didn't even
That's
know.
Joe.
Yes,
That's Joe.
Thank
Love
Joe.
Jojo.
Looks like
Really?
Planet of
He's
the
not
Apes.
even here.
Happy Halloween.
Me
yes.
shot the Squatch. We love JoJo.
Oh my gosh.
So we were talking
That's
about
sweet.
weird stuff, and people want us to talk about all the spooky, crazy stuff. So what do you think we should start with? Like, what's
I want to know the best ghost story you've ever had happen to you. Ever.
I have a real one.
Okay, well, that's what I mean. Yeah, let's go for the real.
I can. Michelle's heard it. I think Sean's heard it too. Joe's
Yep.
heard it. But previous home I lived in, I say I never went looking for the paranormal. It found me. And I started with like a lucid dream 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Got a device not connected. I'm not sure who that is. Let's see. It's Bart. Hopefully you'll
Bart's
get
there
connected.
too.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, the thing it was like, I remember it like 5 minutes ago, and there was a man in my tree in my front yard. Hey, Bart, happy Halloween.
Hi.
Well, it's a very ghost story. So long story short, I woke up from this dream, but this thing had tried to get me to, what did it say? Basically, tried to get me to follow it. It promised me riches and fame and anything I could
Oh,
on
wow.
my wildest dreams. And I basically said, it's not radio friendly what I told it, but I told it to leave, and it started to laugh at me. So I kept asking, who are you? And it told me it was a demon, told me its name, spelt it. And again, I told it to leave, and it would very mockingly was wagging its finger at me, going, oh, no, 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 no. Every time you see a crow or a raven, you'll know who it is. And I remember calling an Archangel Michael in the dream, this brilliant flash of royal blue, silver, and white,
Wow.
and all heck broke loose in my house. Like people being thrown, my partner 15 feet across the kitchen, burnt,
Wow.
bit, scratched, all kinds of stuff. We
Wow.
eventually left the house because we could not find anybody to help us. It was quite the
Oh my
story.
gosh. Wow. That's
That's
cool.
And
crazy.
Michelle, I didn't know. I have to give her a plug because we shared our story on Paranormal Survivor.
You did.
No, Michelle, and she actually was consulting on that show. You don't get to meet people that consult, and now I
Right.
know. Small world.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Small world. Small world.
They don't tell us very much either. They
That's
just
what you said.
they
yeah.
hand me files, and I comment based on what I see in writing. I don't, they don't tell me
Right.
anything
They let
otherwise.
you tune to it. Yeah.
That's
You
it.
were really dead on though, because my partner almost died. I took pictures of everything, and I remember after it happened, I thought, should I take a picture of this? And I thought, I'm a nurse, and I thought, oh well, no, it might be a bit. But long story short, it was like something. My partner was laying in the bed, and it was like he was seizuring, and I was shaking him, calling his name, and it was his voice, but it wasn't him. He's going, I'm okay. I'm all right. And I remember picking him up and shaking and shaking and shaking him. All of a sudden, he started coughing. It was like this black, I don't know what to describe, like ectoplasm started coming out of him. And he didn't
Wow.
remember anything, felt like his ribs were breaking. So one of us had to stay awake all night long to watch everybody while everybody else slept. So it was very scary. I made it a very short version, but believe me, this went on for years.
I want to tell you mine. Okay. I was working in the Army. Okay. And I was on a very late day. I was coming in about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We had delivered ammo to North Georgia for the Rangers. And it was always a long day for me. And it's raining and it's fall and everything's creepy. And I lived on Pine Mountain, so it's just all, back roads going up to our cabin. And I'm looking at this tree in front of the Reynolds house property. You know who RJ Reynolds is? Well, his
Yeah.
son lived near me. Okay. And I'm like looking at it now. He's got a big copper roof on his house and everything. And this is like probably a 200-year-old tree. It's really, really cool looking. And the only light on that street is right next to that tree. And I look up at it because I see something moving and there's some big black thing in there. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I start to slow down. And the next thing I know, as I just went under it, this thing jumped from the tree and slammed into my windshield. Claws out. And it eyeballed me, big red eyeballs, as it went down my windshield, down the hood of my truck, and I slammed on the brakes and it smacked the windshield again and then shot off the front of the truck. Now I'm looking at it going, oh my God. And it went down in the front of my truck. And I said, oh, no. And I ran it over and I went all the rest of the way home. I ran in the house. I got out of my uniform. I put my jammies on. I got my shotgun, popped it after I loaded it and sat on my front porch waiting for it for the rest of the night. Okay. And my ex was like, what's going on? I said, you don't want to know. He said, no, really, what just happened? I said, go look at the truck. I did double dig dog dare you. And he did. He said, golly, there's huge scratches going all the way down the front of my truck from the windshield. And I said, I know. And he said, what was it? And I said, it was, one gargoyle. And he said, it had wings and everything.
I was thinking the
Yeah.
Mothman. That could be the Mothman.
I don't know. I was not impressed.
I
I was not impressed. And the only reason I didn't kill it or try to kill it is my truck was high up. It was jacked up. Otherwise, it'd be dead. It'd be flattened, And I wasn't right for 2 weeks after that. Not at all. And it was like, oh no, leave me alone. That's it.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God. It freaked me out.
That's crazy.
That's my crazy story. Yep.
That's crazy.
Right.
Scary.
So-
Jeffrey, not Joe. I thought as soon as I heard the voice. So hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Carrie Lynn. Your makeup looks great.
Hello.
Bart loving the mask.
I love Bart's mask.
It's
Oh,
my hobby.
So-
It's my hobby to make masks. So be prepared for surprises.
Oh,
You have the great
Sounds like fun.
demon stories that y'all have. I'm just kind of guff-gawed by those stories. I mean,
Oh, and I made that story short. Believe me, I'm writing a book. But we had 4 main entities in our house that I have pictures of it. But the one used to mimic me, and it
Yeah.
would look like me, like a doppelganger, and it would call the kids. It would be my voice. It used to always hit my partner in the kitchen. Like we're night owls. He'd be up at 3 a.m. and it would. I remember one time he came running down the stairs. It's about 4 a.m. He goes, "Did you just run upstairs and smack me in the back twice?" And I went,
well, as much as I would like to take the credit, no.
"No, you would have hurt me. No, I did not smack you.
Something beat me
I
to
never hit you. Why would I start now?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Why?" And he goes,
it.
"Well, it was you. You were up in the kitchen, and I got hit twice. I turned around, and it was you. Like the hair, everything. Yeah, it was crazy."
Well, here's
that
my
one?
ghost story. I'll tell you
Okay.
mine.
Okay.
And this is kind of a ghost story and kind of not, but it certainly was interesting. I was driving with the whole family through the forests in Georgia late at night. We were on our way back from vacation to California. My brother Stephen was driving. I was in the front seat. Everyone else was asleep. This is in a microbus. And we don't know Georgia. This is just this big, thick forest on a highway we don't know anything about. And Steven says, you know what? I need to go pee. Let's pull over. I'm like, okay. So we pull over at the side of the road. It's middle of nowhere. And we start creeping off into the forest. And we realize we are in an abandoned graveyard.
Ooh.
And we're looking at this grave. It's Mary Jennings from 1860. I turned to Stephen. I said, you know what? I am not going to disturb this grave. I'm going deeper into the forest because this is just not appropriate.
Right.
So we separate and I'm doing my thing. And suddenly I hear Stephen, my older brother, by the way, give off a blood curdling scream. And so I'm zipping up and running back to the road as fast as I can because I can hear him tromping through the bush. And I come upon him and he is sweating. He's pale and his shirt is torn wide open.
Oh my
I said,
God.
Stephen, what happened? He says, I think I got attacked by Mary Jennings' ghost. I'm like, what?
Ooh,
He
you
said,
ticked
well,
I
by
got
Mary Jennings.
goosebumps.
That does not sound good.
it turned out that he had actually run through a barbed wire fence and didn't realize it. And it tore up his shirt, and he thought it was Mary Jennings' ghost.
That's a
Not
good
really a ghost.
You
But
know, there's graveyards like that all over Georgia. People bury their family on their own land.
it was
And
real
it's
creepy.
everywhere.
Oh, really?
There
It
you go.
was.
Yeah.
I've had a few real ghost stories.
Yeah.
But,
But
that
But
was-
Preston, that's an awesome campfire ghost story.
That's an awesome story.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Like with a flashlight underneath your chin and everything.
Carrie Lynn, show off your cheekbones because that makeup
Oh,
is so
Oh,
incredible.
I've been handing out candy to kiddos. We have like 75
Oh,
kids
wow.
already. So I don't know. My cheekbones aren't so good anymore because I've been outside.
Oh, they look
But-
amazing. Bart, you
Yeah.
changed again.
Oh, look at that. That one's creepy.
Wow.
This is when you want to be a transvestite, but you're not daring enough to wear a dress.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I see.
Okay, here we go.
That's risque.
You look like a Barbie doll that had all her hair pulled out and she got redone. That's what
I
that
thought
was.
that was
It's the weird Barbie.
I thought that was a good comment.
That would be Bride of Chucky. Yeah.
Mm.
I think about it. Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Carrie Lynn, why don't you talk about your show? Just so
Oh.
everybody knows. Yeah. Promote yourself.
Okay, so I'm Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, and my show here on UPRN is Spirit Switchboard.
Ooh, okay.
And
Fridays at 5 p.m.
Cool.
Very nice. Okay.
Bart, you're next.
I'm becoming quantum conscious on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's about conscious stuff. In fact, I'm going to be interviewing Raymond Grace, who is probably the most renowned dowsing healer and transformational coach using dowsing in the United States. So
Wow.
he also wears a
Wow.
cowboy hat and likes to wear 6 guns.
My goodness. Wow.
Yep. I love it.
It's all about balance.
I know. I had to get special permission for that one. I'm like, Joe, is this okay? He goes, yep, as long as he's not pointing it at anybody, we're okay. I was like, okay, good.
That's
Very
amazing.
good. Jeffrey,
Hey, am I telling a story or just my show?
Whatever you want. Why don't you do
Whatever you
both?
want.
Oh, I guess some of the scariest encounters I've had is well, there's one in particular. There's several, but I'll just tell one is some small hooded beings standing behind a black box, and in front of them was a black box, and a friend saw them with me. They were very small, and a cat jumped towards them and they vanished. And it was just really eerie, and they were just small hooded beings, like they were like kind of like Jawas, but skinnier. Couldn't see their face, real skinny. And at that time, I'd been reading a lot of Celtic otherworld stuff and things like that. But one thing that kind of tops it during that time that seems a lot more scarier than a paranormal encounter is when some type of government agency shows up, which at that time, during that time, a silent craft came over the house that looked like a helicopter with no propellers. And this was in Georgia. A lot of my stuff happened there. I'm in the Florida Panhandle now. Just a silent, weird craft with a cockpit and a guy that goes, and it shot away. And he didn't never any face-to-face encounters except the weird craft that seemed to come out that correlated with UFO activity. So I don't know. Guess it was some kind of agency or whatever. I don't know what it was, but those are even more scarier because you get more paranoid. Are they going to take you? Or are you going to, what the hell is going to happen next?
I'm with you there.
Luckily, none of that ever happened. But my show's Church of Mavis. It's Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. We just had Stephen Flowers on. He did a book on. Thank you. Gothic Meditations at Midnight, and it's basically if you love old silent horror movies up through he won't watch a movie over 1975.
Wow.
So we got into Hammer, Universal, Nosferatu, occult symbolism, and it was really good. And then this coming Friday's Allison Jornlin. She was on Shark Tank Friday, and for American Ghost Walks. Unfortunately, they vetoed her, but she was still on there, which was cool. But that's the show for Friday. and that's every
Nice.
Friday.
Awesome.
Fun.
Awesome.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank
Very
you.
good. I love it. So, guys, anybody in the chat room, chime in if you have questions or stories or anything like that. We'll have other hosts joining in. But if you have questions, that would be a good time because you have a whole array of people and we all talk about, obscure things in one form or another. And I'm pretty sure between us all, we could probably give you some pretty good perspectives.
Well, I'll
I-
tell you a happy story if that's okay. I'll tell a happy
Yeah.
story.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really encountered any really ghostly hauntings for me except doing paranormal investigations. But the happy one was back in, I want to say, 2003, 2004. I was staying in a complex for, where you live, apartments. And so I had my son over. Me and my wife were divorced at the time. And here in this complex, they built gardens. Okay. And so one April evening, me and my son went out and we sat on the bench and we were looking at the garden. All of a sudden, you saw these little white lights going everywhere, like popping here, there. And I knew it was like kind of early for lightning bugs, right? And so we went in. The next day, me and him went back out there, and as God is my witness, there was a perfect circle of mushrooms.
Wow.
Yes, that
That's awesome.
that was like so happy that I know that there are these little fays hanging around.
Sounds
where
like a
I
bit
was
of a
living.
DMT night. Just saying.
Well, did you pick them and eat them? That's what I want.
Hi, Faye.
I mean, it almost seems like, that's why they left them there for you,
That's
So,
possible.
yeah.
But I'll tell you what, honestly, man, that was the neatest. It was a perfect. I mean, you couldn't get no better circle than they left those, and that really opened my eyes to the little people, to the phase and all that. So I just thought I'd share that.
There are UFO cases like that too, by the way, where UFOs land and mushrooms grow right where they landed. Makes me
That's
wonder if there's a
crazy.
connection.
Shush, really?
Yes.
Yes.
Carolyn's like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Tell me all about it. I want to know more. I have not even
there-
heard that
Yeah,
before.
there was a
Me
case,
neither.
gosh, South America that got really famous. There's pictures of the mushrooms and all. All the farmers in the area were completely baffled because these are nothing that grows around there and appeared overnight. I mean, real quickly. And there's other cases where UFOs do
That's
kind of send
fascinating.
down beams of light which cause accelerated plant growth. So that's kind of the theory, but it's weird because
Do they
there
test
are
them?
multiple cases.
Like-
I don't. They've
Do
they've
they?
identified them.
Yes,
It's a certain type of
Dolly.
mushroom.
When I was at the zoo, my family owned the zoo, okay, and we lived there all the time, 365, 7 days a week. And my cousin said, the Chantilly mushrooms are up again. And she said, I'm getting weirded out about this. And I said, what? And she said, this is our third crop this year. And I'm like, really? Seriously? She says, yeah, I'm selling them to a restaurant in downtown Dade City because they paid good money for them. And I said, well, let's go get them. I'll go with you. So we got on one of our little electric go-karts and we're out there and they're everywhere. Okay. And I'm like, oh my God. And we picked them all. We got them out there, sold them. We made $1,000 off of one basket of Chantilly.
Wow.
Chantilly's lace. About 2 months later, she screamed at me. She says, one of the keepers is screaming, there's mushrooms again. And I'm thinking, that's so weird. And it's near the spring. We have a natural spring out there. And I'm thinking, And I had to ask, I made contact with my contact and I said, are you guys doing something at the zoo I don't know about? And he said, why? And I said, because the mushrooms are growing like crazy. Are you doing that? He said, yeah, it's us. And I'm like, oh my God, stop. You're freaking them out. We're going to have TV crews before long. And I said,
But that's a pretty decent side hustle.
Yeah.
Like $1,000. That's a side hustle.
good
That's
haul.
pretty decent.
we needed the money too. So it was like, hey, okay. Yep.
Is that the the common market or the black?
The black, well, it was a chef who really wanted him. And it was a restaurant
Wow.
who paid money for him. So yeah,
No, I love it. I was just kidding. Yeah,
it's crazy.
because there's a market for that too. So, but I don't know.
Nobody-
I think it's
Oh,
great.
we had them tested. I thought about it. I said, oh my God, what if this is
Because
radiation?
it was about to get real awkward for a moment.
Down to the county guy, I saw water supply, and I said, "Can you test the mushroom to see if it's safe to eat?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he said, "Show me the mushrooms." And I handed him a handful, and he goes, "Well, there's chantilly." I said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Well, we'll test them." And I said, "Okay, how comprehensive is this test?" He said, "We'll know everything about them." I said, "Okay." And by God, they came back radioactive. So
That's what I wanted to
Ooh.
know. That's fascinating.
yeah. I
Wow.
was like, "Oh yeah, you got to stop, Talana, you got to stop. You can't come that low anymore. You're messing things up for us." So yeah, but it makes them grow. I learned then that it makes all kinds of things grow. So it's
wow.
crazy.
So why in some places and not others?
I don't know. I really don't. We were in Dade City, Florida, which is like north of Tampa. Okay, and it's very rich land, and we had 2 sinkholes extinct. One had a
Right.
spring that filled up, and my cousin, her husband, was a horticulturist, and the whole zoo looked like a Garden of Eden. Okay, and he was constantly fertilizing things, and I think the more fertile the ground, the more chance you have of it taking off and doing
Right.
something. So that might have been why.
Taken off, just saying.
Interesting.
Sorry, I can't resist mushroom talk. It just gives
There's
me
a
too many
big case, 'cause
possibilities.
Well,
There's
my
a big
mycelium is like everywhere in the earth. If you take 1 square inch of earth, there's 100 miles of mycelium network in every square inch
See,
of earth on the planet.
Yeah.
So
It's a communicator as well. You know that, right?
Oh, sure is. It's called DMT, man.
The flora and the fauna
all
use it
kinds
to
of
communicate
things.
with each other. Yep. It's a type of electroconductor. Yep.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
And you wonder why the ETs like them.
Is that a new mask, Bart? That's a new one.
This is a mushroom mask. I went to a mushroom party last Saturday night, and this
look,
is
it
my
is a mushroom.
contest entry, and it did not win.
Aw.
A
Beautiful.
friend of mine makes this mycelium or this mushroom mixture, and you take a teaspoon every day, and it just gives you tons of energy.
Right.
Is it chaga? Is it chaga mushrooms
No,
or a
it's-
different kind?
It's called limitless mushrooms,
Ah,
and it's 10 different types of mushrooms with chaga, all of these other mixtures in it, and it's just wow.
Wow.
I take a variation of it for like memory. Not kidding. Like you order it, like like in supplements, because apparently there's certain types of mushroom that will help your memory or help you to, extend your memory.
Chaga has that in it, right?
Which is
Isn't
kind of
that
what
one
I'm
the
hoping
benefits
for.
of drinking chaga is your memory. I heard that somewhere. I don't know. I might be wrong. But yeah.
this is a good comment. Nicole Thomas Ryan says, "Wonder what the mushrooms tell the ETs."
See, I
Yeah.
like that one.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think you rescued us, Nicole. We were going down a dark hole.
I'm gonna ask my brother if he found mushrooms behind the barn where he saw a UFO when we were growing up.
Yeah.
That's a
Definitely.
curiosity.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
mushrooms out at our cottage, and my sister-in-law is a naturopathic doctor, and she insists that it's chaga mushrooms or chaga mushrooms, but none of us were daring enough to try them. Could end up
My
in a
firm
sister-in-law
believer
used to
that-
drink
Do they grow?
mushroom juice.
Are they growing out of a tree?
Yeah, base of the
They
tree.
grow out of almost
then it's a
anything.
good chance it's
Red
chaga.
tree logs, moss grass, harbrum, regular grass. In Georgia, they grow right in the grass. I'm not kidding you. You can walk out there in your garden overnight. They'll just go. Pfft,
Yeah, that happens here
everywhere.
too.
That happens in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Grow right
Maybe
out
the
of
mushrooms
garden.
are telling the ETs of where people are taking care of the planet and who's not.
Might be.
I think.
You think?
I think Bigfoot does that. I think that might be their job.
Oh, Dolly, we're going to be good friends, you and I.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody who was asking about the mushrooms, Faye was saying it. They're called lion's mane.
Oh, lion's
That's
mane.
that's one.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't there like a fairy circle where they pop up in a perfect circle
Yeah.
And that happens from time to time. And some of my witchy friends say that that's
That was Sean's story. He
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
talked
Sean just talked about
Yeah.
that
I just
story
talked
before you
about
came
that. Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
We
had
get
it happen to him.
mushroom rings at this house all the time. All the
Mm.
time.
I
Amazing.
love
I
them.
always go out and say thank you. Thank you. I don't know what blessings you're bringing, but bring them on. Thank you.
I love
Just-
fairies. So
Well, that's
I
because
love
Carrie
gardening.
Lynn also has ET experiences, but I just think you're either not recognizing it or you don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got sort of sideswiped by somebody in an interview to ask me about ET stuff, and I've never talked about it publicly. So, kind of
Yeah.
got outed a couple of weeks ago.
Maybe
So
that's why you've got your mushroom rings everywhere.
yeah,
I'm
probably.
giving you,
Does that mean
I'm
you're
giving you
I don't mean to
that.
send you out or anything. Just
No, I'm
figured, you know.
curious. Does that mean you're going to talk about it now?
Apparently, I got outed again.
I just threw Carrie Lynn under the bus. Sorry, Carrie Lynn.
Yep. Yeah, I just got tossed under the bus. That's all right.
No pressure.
There's plenty of
Not
room.
nice.
We all live there.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm learning. That's what I'm learning.
right.
I'm learning. Yes, thank you, Ed.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now we know who the culprit is.
Yes. It was good. It was a fun conversation. And I think and it's good to be around like-minded people where it's a little more comfortable to start.
Yes.
I think for me the hesitation was what have I not remembered that's going to come to the surface, and am I ready to remember? I think that's more where I was at.
Hmm. Yeah, that's always pretty scary.
And then let's talk about mushrooms.
I have missing time. I don't know what happened. I blinked and I was about 30 miles away from, like, I literally blinked and an hour and a half went by and my car was in the opposite direction. I was surprised I got cell service and I still don't know where that building was. And I've lived in this city my whole life. My phone
Crazy,
was
huh?
ringing.
Okay, were we talking about mushrooms here? Or what are we talking? What are we? Carrie Lynn said
I threw
mushrooms.
it
Time travel,
And you didn't know where you were.
ET. I was throwing in ET.
ET
experience.
stuff.
Okay. I'm kidding.
So funny.
Right. I don't know. I think Joe's had a lot of interesting stories about ET and his GPS picking him up like someplace like way over in Saskatchewan. He goes, "Where's that? Is that in Canada somewhere?"
Surprised
It's a long ways from New Orleans, Joe. He goes, "Yeah, my GPS picked me up somewhere over Saskatchewan."
Wow.
And he goes, and within a half an hour of after being in New Orleans, he goes, "I don't think I
Yeah.
could have gotten there that quick." I'm like, yep. That's in
I don't even know where
I
Saskatchewan.
definitely have
You
had
took your
missing
two freaking
time when
cornfields.
driving.
Hmm?
I've definitely had missing time while driving, like a 45-minute
Mhm.
drive normally, and I was leaving at night and I had left a friend's house with normal 45-minute drive, and I got to the field before I got onto the major 400 series here in Ontario, and I don't remember how I got where I landed, and it was 2.25 hours later. Like,
Oh, wow.
That's definitely missing time.
yeah, it's a lot of missing time. Like it
Uh-huh.
was normally a 45-minute drive, and like on the 400 series, so it's not like you can like
It's a big highway
zone
series
out
up
on the
here.
400 series
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Is that what they call your highways up in Canada? Series?
No. We've got like the Kings and Queens highways. Those are the Queens Highway, the Kings Highway. The Kings Highway, obviously, they're bigger, like interstate. You guys have interstates. That would be like our version of an
Okay.
interstate.
Okay.
And
You
where
know, they
I
could
live,
be
we have
anywhere from
terrible.
4 lanes to like 10 lanes.
And where I
Okay.
live, we have terrible highways, but Carrie Lynn could commiserate because she's from
Yeah,
Northern Ontario too. So
yeah. One lane up
yeah,
and down
2 lanes.
hills,
I said one
behind
going one way, one going-
transports,
Yeah.
no passing lane,
Hey,
and
never
watch
mind.
moose
I got a
and
speeding
Sasquatch.
ticket going through Kenora.
Oh, are you
I was
serious?
on a highway. There was nothing out there. I
There's
didn't even see a
nothing.
sign.
When
So,
you're in the
what
smart
does
car,
mine mean?
Yeah.
Look at it, right?
That feels power
Next
trippy.
time I'm going and I got clipped big.
Damn.
I
Were
don't
you
know
in
where,
your sports car?
where do they hide?
Yeah.
Jeez. There's bush everywhere. It's like woods everywhere. And I see lights coming out of nowhere. I'm like, you're kidding. It's like, because there's our sign. It's like 80 kilometers back there, which I don't know. How many miles is that? But
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
like, what sign? And he goes, it's behind that tree. Well, how am I supposed to see
See
it?
it. Yeah.
It's hiding on
amazing.
me.
And we can't use radar detectors either in Canada. They're
No.
illegal.
We're not supposed to here either. No kidding. But they use them
No.
anyway. They find a
But
way.
they're like fastest gun in the West with their speedometer,
I'll
speed
say.
thingy, their speed
Yeah.
gun. So it's like, Anyway, yeah, it was a huge, huge ticket for way back then. That was just, it's like, wow. But what are you going to do? Sports car, just lane of nothing ahead of you, nothing behind you.
I don't
That
think
would
it
be
needs to even be a
interesting.
sports car. Sometimes it's just the music that you're listening to.
It does.
Yes.
Makes
You
you
end up
go.
driving
Oh, Radar
faster.
Love. Radar Love. I got pulled
That's one of those songs.
listening to Radar Love. I got pulled over. I really did.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You know
Yeah.
what I was just
absolutely.
gonna say would be interesting. Maybe some of you maybe have interviewed anybody like this, but a police officer that would be willing to talk about strange, unusual.
Elliot Van
experiences.
Dusen. I've
Yeah,
interviewed him. He's a good friend. I've
I figured
interviewed
somebody would have.
about I know. He's been on the show about 4 or 5 times. He's a retired RCMP officer out east, and he's written books on high strangeness things, tales from RCMP, which would be your version of, I guess, FBI.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I've had a retired RCMP officer, but she does some more spiritual stuff now,
Right.
but she's seen some stuff too, but nothing like that. I want to read that book now.
I'll hook you up. I'll
Ooh.
hook you up. I know.
You have a question.
Yes. Shoot.
Okay, so Nicole Thomas Ryan says, does Canada or the US have more reported ETs? Where do you hear about it more?
Preston researches tons of this. He's got 1 million books almost. And I'm not
Okay,
exaggerating.
Preston.
I know, like he's written it.
No.
I vote for the United States. We need more help than you guys.
I think let's hear what Preston says.
Yeah,
when
where
I
do you
get
get most of your
Yeah.
contacts from?
Well, I mean, it's a worldwide phenomenon. I think if you really dig into any location, you're going to get a long, rich history of encounters. But absolutely, the U.S. produces more reports than Canada
I would think so.
by far. I think there's more people here, and it's
Way
definitely-
more.
Yeah,
Way
more
more.
densely populated.
Don't the French have a really easy? Don't they speak out like we do more? In other words,
Oh, yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
right behind us. They're very, very
France
well
has
aware.
always been open about it.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
very
in
open.
France, yeah.
Well, Canada as well. I mean, especially because you have that guy, the former prime minister,
Oh,
What
well, we
was
had
his
our
name?
defense minister, Paul Hillier.
Paul Hellyer.
Oh,
Yeah,
Paul
he's
Hellyer.
By the
very
way,
outspoken about
nicest
it.
guy.
Yeah.
But he moved it forward a little bit to make this more.
He
talk
took a
about
lot of
subject.
flack too, though.
He sure
Unfortunately.
did. Oh, yeah, much to the chagrin of the higher ups.
But I've interviewed lots of people in Canada who've had encounters, so you guys definitely have lots of UFOs and Bigfoot
I
as
think
well.
I got
Yeah, I
some
was just
footage
going to
when they-
ask you.
Yeah, I
Cryptids.
played it on one of our shows that David and I co-host, the thing at the foot of the bed. It was pretty interesting. It was this light up in the sky. We're not really sure what it was doing. It was kind of all over, and it was turning pretty colors and spinning, and definitely wasn't a satellite or anything. I don't know what it was, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
It could have been. It could have been not a satellite. I mean, it could have been anything. They'll do that. They'll roll color when they're up out of the atmosphere, and if they want you to see them, they'll do that. They'll roll colors on you. So they probably were showing off.
I did hear one really strange story that came out of Canada that I've never heard before. And
Okay.
It was third hand, but this guy interviewed heard it from someone else who said he saw a figure crossing the road that wasn't a Bigfoot because whatever it was, it had antlers. So like
Sounds like a
little
Wendigo.
dog man.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
Wendigo. Wendigo.
Yeah,
But no,
Wendigo's
this was I don't know a moose man. I
Wow.
don't know,
Well,
but he's-
Wendigos have big antlers.
Yes, they do.
That's
maybe-
a that's
something along that.
a native.
I would have loved to
folklore.
talk to the witness, but this again was a third-hand story. But the guy
That's
swears up and
interesting.
down that the guy who told it to him was very serious about it, really shook up, didn't want to talk about it.
I can't imagine why. God, it's terrifying. I mean, I've come face to face with, just a moose up near on that hill in Wawa, 2 a.m.
Mile Hill.
in a 300, yeah, in a 300 ZX, and I had to stop on a
God.
hill like this,
Mhm.
and I look up,
Mhm.
and there's this big bull moose staring down at the car. I'm mesmerized by the lights, and scary in a different way, people. Anyway, I turned around, and there's a big female. They're bigger than the car. So I sat there for half an hour with the lights off, praying nobody would
Yeah.
come in and hit me. But this moose was like very enamored with the car. This is really going to get ugly.
There's a female where he wants the car.
I know. Just,
Maybe
That
he
happened-
could see himself, you know?
I
That
know,
happened to me on the
"Please go away.
Shaplo Highway."
Please go away.
Yeah.
Please go away.
No, they're more dangerous than bear.
Oh,
They are.
yeah. They would have made
Screaming.
nothing out of this car.
My
Like,
kid just took a video. He drove to Fort Francis. Him and his fiance have a house there and a house in our city in Thunder Bay. And I couldn't believe I saw it on Facebook. I was going to say to him, "Are you nuts?" He's sitting there filming it, loves animals like his mother. He's going, "Oh, hello, Mr. Moose. How are you
oh,
today?"
sure.
Oh my God.
Did you ever see that video of the moose that ran across the river on top of the water?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was totally cool.
The levitating moose.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Top
That's
speed, too.
crazy.
It was like looking.
Let's
yeah.
talk high strangeness. So what do we think that is? Do you think that's just illusion, or do you think that?
No. Do I get to tell the story now?
Yeah, I would love you. Flip a coin.
No, I'm going to ask.
I don't know anything about it, so tell
We
me,
had
Dolly.
serious high strangeness coming from California to Georgia. Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking Preston. Say yes.
Okay, Preston, speak up.
Okay. Okay. So we're going through Kansas, and we're off of 40, and there's windmill farms out there, and fences and cameras everywhere. And I mean, it's like for miles and miles and miles, there's windmill farms. And we had an 80-mile stretch of road of nothing but windmill farms. Okay. About 40 miles in, we're being mesmerized by it. We're like, looking at them. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we see him up on the right coming at us on our side of the road. It's a guy, a Rastafarian, wearing all kind of colored clothes, pushing a subway cart, going, boom, he's booking it. And we went right by him, and I'm screaming, "Stop, turn around." And he said, "Nope." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because we are almost out of gas. We have to make it to the next town." And I look back at him, and he's still going. And I'm thinking, what is a Rastafarian guy? I mean, with long dreads, the cap, everything, pushing a subway cart in 110-degree heat. Okay.
There's no way you could be there. There's no way.
I think they got lost from the third Harry Potter movie when they had the intro and Harry's riding on the bus and the Rastafarian's driving the bus and going through the town.
That was the
It freaked
head.
me out.
Yeah.
I mean, it freaked me out. I wanted to turn around, and he's like, "No, no, no." And I've thought about it since then, and it might have been, I don't know what the heck it was, you know? I mean, I've come up with some answers and a lot of messes with me about it. He's not really being completely straight with me, so I can't say for sure. But yeah, 40 miles in, there was nothing 40 miles before him or 40 miles after him.
What do you
Nothing.
think? Like it was a time travel or a glitch?
I don't know. He's pretty tall too. He's at least 6 feet tall, built, you know, and pushing that cart as hard as he could in the grass and the
I
dirt.
don't know what he's doing there. He's not going to sell any sandwiches. I mean, there's just no way. Like, what are you doing out there?
I always love Preston's analogy. I know.
There's no water. There's no
Nothing
Absolutely.
but windmills and cameras that are watching us as we go by. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
got to be
wanted-
one of the strangest things that has ever happened to me ever on this planet. Ever.
That is strange.
You know?
You'd have to be there to realize how strange it was, but it was so isolated. I mean, there's just
And out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
I don't know. I came up with the idea that he was underground. He was elevated up to the ground, and they let him out so he could run by us and freak us out. That's what I think. In my life, you know?
You know what I was
That
going
could
to
do
ask
it.
all of you? What is it? I don't know if you're seeing this, but I am seeing everywhere. It seems like it's the big trend in the paranormal to be investigating skinwalkers. Like everywhere, skinwalkers. I'm not talking skinwalker ranch.
Not,
It's just
not really. Mm-mm. Not in my area. No.
Not in an area. I'm talking about like broadcasting, like on
In general?
YouTube or wherever. I'm seeing
Will
a lot of
somebody tell me what a skinwalker is, please?
It's the buzzword right now, you mean?
yeah,
Yes.
like it seems like everybody's in search of a skinwalker, but nobody knows,
What
right?
does that mean?
It sounds really
I don't
sexy.
know.
It's a legend from the Ute Indians in the central United States about beings that can basically masquerade as animals or any kind of ghostly figure.
Yeah.
It's famous for the Skinwalker Ranch, of course, and that I
Yeah.
think made it the buzzword that it is today.
Right.
I've never gotten a case of what I would call
In Dungeons
know.
and Dragons, we would call it a doppelganger.
And if you're looking for one, you might need your head examined. It's probably not going to turn out very well from what I've
Right?
seen. One thing that's crazy that I've seen lately with the Skinwalker phenomenon is that show Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. I had that Chris Bledsoe guy on that wrote UFO of God, which basically he came on there with CIA, former CIA and Colonel, all these government spooks, and he summoned UFOs. But if you look up that book on Amazon, and look at the reviews, all the people are like, I can summon UFOs before. I've had similar stuff happen, but not in a while like that. But it's like they're trying to commercialize Christian UFO summoning. It's like a goth seeing the goth
It's like
section.
the CE5.
It's like the goth seeing the goth section at Target. But anyway, it's just alarming because it's like there's all these government spooks trying to get you outside to interact with this phenomenon. And the book even says in a blurb, you can be like us, from Colonel John Bradshaw. It's like a John Carpenter movie. Like they're trying to get you outside so they can say, oh, he's got powers with this stuff. Take him. I don't trust it. It creeps me out on a lot of different levels.
You're talking about CE5 then.
Because I think the government's an arsehole, quite frankly. That's why I don't trust it.
And we're down.
The way I look at it is, you know
Well said.
what? If we've got these kind of powers, whoever has them, right? If the government, you shouldn't have to sign up for it, or you know what I mean? Like I've even seen there's been certain things. Joe always teases me and calls me conspiracy princess when he's on here, and it's not that I'm a truth seeker. As I think all of us are, but you know what? I think that I've seen things out there like the Guardians of the Looking Glass and crazy stuff out there. We're looking for light workers and people with psychic abilities because we need your email so we can contact you when we need you.
Nobody who does that really well is going to tell anybody.
Exactly.
What I'm saying, okay?
Exactly.
People? Yeah.
We're not
No.
talking.
That's us. That's what I was saying to support what Jeffrey's saying 100%.
Yeah, man.
I listened to your
stick your butt
show
up, it might get shut off.
It's really
Okay,
weird.
just
So
don't do that.
you're really out there, and your stuff is really profound. So
The what? Sorry?
I'm kind of not surprised to hear these stories from you because, whenever I listen to your show, it's like, oh my God, this is really wild.
I tell people what I want people to know, but it doesn't mean I tell them everything.
Leave them wanting more.
But Bart and I have worked together, so Bart knows a lot. Shh, Bart.
Yeah, she doesn't let on how much she knows. Is all I can say.
Well, thank
Be
you.
curious about Michelle, and maybe she'll let the secrets out someday of all the weird stuff.
Will you just
I'll say no
want
more.
to find me gone? What is it? Not find me, just be gone. Yeah. What did you hear what Jeffrey just said? No.
I have a weird story because I'm a tour guide in Southwest France during the summertime. Can't wait to get back. However, there's something that we do at night, occasionally with friends. We get out on this lake, on this flat area that is underneath this Stargate mountain called Pic de Bogarash. And
Oh,
my
beautiful place.
comparison would be Mount Shasta or Machu Picchu or something like that. They're power mountains. And the ETs just gravitate to this place. In fact, a friend of mine.
That's where you've sent me pictures from, right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
I get them on my camera. I get one or two every year where they just pop up.
Yeah.
We sit on this dam and the sun comes down and we're looking at the mountain and all of these lights are popping out and subtle colors and stars that seem to be moving way too fast. And we're sitting there and it's all so subtle. And we're going, did you see that? We're going, yeah, I think so. I see that. yeah, I saw that. And we just go through the whole evening like that. And then we drive home on these narrow, winding roads that you shouldn't drive at night, but we do. Make it home, wake up in the morning, and have the worst hangover that you can ever imagine. Yet we never drink.
Yeah.
Just all the energy is just moving through your body. And to me, that's a lot what that ET experience is they're always calibrating you and trying to
That's a good way of putting it.
peak you up. Sort of.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a red craft and it zoom off in a blue streak?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
France? Yeah, that's one of their signatures over there. They come in red and they'll shoot off blue. That's a thing. That's an
Yeah,
actual French thing that they'll do for
Okay,
you.
I didn't really put that two and two together, but
Yeah.
yeah. I generally see this little glint of silver in the sky on a blue sunny day. And
Yeah.
as soon as you focus on it, it's gone. But when we muscle test it, we always get that was a UFO. And it happens like almost daily.
Yeah, it's cool up there. I've gotten interesting photos when I was in the south of France.
We've got a question. Do you want me to highlight that or?
Yeah, put it up, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's from Michael Kennedy. Does anybody know what Ross Coulter is talking about? A huge hidden UFO that was too big to move after it crashed. Anyone have any idea where this is located in Canada? I haven't heard of it.
I thought that was your Senate room.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, I haven't really researched it. I certainly heard about it. I'm off the bat skeptical. Just too big to move. Wouldn't we all know about it? I mean, I've got a lot of questions about this.
Roger.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've not heard of it. I won't lie.
I haven't heard
Yeah, I
of it.
Me
I
neither.
don't know
It
either.
was briefly.
There is no army that would be able to hold you out of it, especially if it was in a populated area. You know, everybody, his brother's best friend's dog would have shown up. So
That's what I was just thinking. What would they do with it? If it was too big to move, what are you going to do with it then?
it would become
I heard they built a hangar or something around it. I don't know.
There'd
I
be
kind of just-
somebody nosy that would see it though. Like, well, maybe not in Canada though. I guess way up north, right?
Yeah, maybe.
that.
yeah, I don't know where it is. I
A
heard about it.
craft that big, a craft that big would cause huge problems if it was down and it was mostly intact. Huge problems. So because they're not completely inert. Okay. They're still functioning somewhat and they radiate all kinds of stuff. And they would have done anything to get you away from it and not see it. So they also would have had another craft come and get it. And that's a fact. If it was that big, they wouldn't have left it there.
Well, it raises an interesting
What we all
question.
realize is that ETs will not leave unless they absolutely have to. And if there's no getting back personnel or getting back,
So is it ET or is it man-made?
it could have been a man-made one. Yeah, that wouldn't
Reverse
have been
engineered.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like most of the UFOs, just
Yeah.
in terms of reports of crashes and crash retrievals, are pretty small craft. I don't know that I've ever heard of one that's massive.
Right.
They're usually.
I don't know. There's one that's triangular, rectangular shaped. That's back engineered, and it's a pretty bloody big thing. It's at least 250 feet long by about 75 feet wide, and they are huge and they fly low. And if you've ever seen one, and I have, if that thing crashed, that would be almost a national security incident, literally something that big. So.
What about Phoenix Lights in Stevensville, Texas? Those are some weird ones that may have been governmental, but I don't know. But definitely weird big UFO sightings.
Yeah, well, we're
Phoenix
supposed to have Dr. Lynn Kite on our show coming up, so we're definitely going to ask her about that.
Yeah.
There's theories that this was a hologram, 5G or whatever, 7, 8G. Keep counting upwards.
Hey, you guys have higher Gs up in Georgia, right?
Yeah, 7D. Yeah, 7D holographics. They practice with them at Stone Mountain, Georgia. They got them up on the mountain up there, and they do shows for people on the weekends. But what you don't realize is at night when nobody's out there, they're using them. I used to live right by that mountain. I could sit on my roof and see them working. And they got all kinds of things going on out there.
One of my best friends lives in Georgia. I have to ask
Oh,
her. Are you
yeah.
close to any of that?
I'm close to all of it. I worked for the Red Cross in Georgia. I know every bloody street there is.
I
in
gotta
this
send you
entire
a
state.
friend request, Dolly. I have Preston, but I
Yeah.
haven't sent you one. I can't wait to talk to more about this with you.
I just love all my friends connecting up. It's like one big happy family.
A lot of my UFO sightings happen near Hampton Motor Speedway in Georgia.
Really?
Very
Wow. That
weird
doesn't
one.
surprise me either. Yeah.
Very weird stuff. Like I don't know exactly if they were aliens or what they were, but it was weird.
Here's a
Got
good
another
question.
question. Kathy Henley
I have
Little.
to say goodbye.
On the Black Pyramid inside Mount Denali.
I've
I've
never.
never heard of Denali.
I've heard
Is
of
it like near? Is it Mount Denali? What's the mountain, Preston? You know what? What was Denali before it was Denali?
Oh, it was. Oh God, not McKinley. Yeah, it had another name, and they changed it back to Denali.
Yeah,
And I think it was named after a president. Yeah, maybe it was McKinley.
yeah, it was McKinley. I'm pretty sure. And Denali is the Native American name for it. and
Right.
it's old. Yeah.
But I haven't heard about any Black Pyramid there.
Mm-mm.
There's always stuff going on. Can't keep up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I know that I've seen myself flying around is Arizona's got a lot of pyramidal structures that nobody know are there unless you fly over all of Arizona and suddenly they're there and you go, wow, look at that. You know, that's pyramid. It's a small pyramid. How the heck, you know, and I would want to land and then everybody's going, nope, nope. And I'm like, dang, you know, things to do. And some of them are near Las Vegas. No kidding, coming into Las Vegas, if you circle the Las Vegas airport, they're on the south side, southwest side of Las Vegas. And there's like 3 of them. It's like, I'll be darned, look at that. And nobody talks about it. I've asked lots of people, do you know what those is? And they go, no, no, they won't talk. Y'all need to go look. I'm not kidding you. It's really there.
Right.
You
I
know?
need to find Joe. Where's Joe?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm late.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi.
Yeah.
Where's Joe?
being a
I
party
know
keeper.
near Hampton Motor Speedway, I saw a pyramid type black craft come through a hole in the sky that was orangish green with my mother. And she said, oh my God, Jeffrey. And like 3 came out of it. And then another time there was a black pyramid craft over some power lines and a white ball of light came out of it towards me and a friend. And what's weird is you ask that friend like later and he doesn't remember at all. And I remember it plain as day. That seems to happen a lot where some of them will remember, but there's quite a few that just don't remember. And I'm like, I remember it. Does that mean they took us? I don't know, but the white light, it was almost like I've heard stories about the water takers of Native American lore with helping craft with water or something like that from RD6 Killer Clark. But it's almost like it was over the power lines. You have to wonder, was it taking energy from them? Maybe that was a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah, they're grabbing electricity. Yep.
Yeah, I know
They do
that
that.
like a
The
white
big
ball of
power
light.
lines, the major transmission lines, they'll go to the top of the 3-tiered, you know, the one with the 3 parts, and
Yeah.
that's the one they'll draw from. Yeah.
Definitely seemed like that. It's giving me goosebumps.
I interviewed a guy once who was inside a UFO when they were drawing electricity from the power lines. So definitely, that's a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't there a theory about the triangular crafts? Like they're
Which
all
ones? Y'all see, you know, at night it's really hard for you to see what a real UFO looks like. They'll array for you. In other words, they'll make you think you're seeing one thing when it's really another. They're very good at that. And
Right.
it like when people say, I saw a black triangular UFO, like you're describing one that's pretty good sized, and he's just showing you that to throw you off of what he really is. He didn't want you to see how big he is, and he was arraying for that. They're like cuttlefish; they can look like anything they want to, and so that's what you're seeing. Now there are TR3Bs that are ours, and they're black matte, and they have white lights on the tips, and a center piece that can be either red or white, and those are ours. They're back engineered, so stay away from them. Yeah.
I'm just going to give a shout out because people are thinking we're not seeing their chat. I think so. We can see your chat. But if you got questions, that's what we're pulling up right now.
I just want to explain to people we actually have 7 chat rooms. Roku does not have a chat. So
Yeah.
you're coming in. It's like having a 7-lane highway coming down into one. We can see everything, but you may not see all of the highlighted comments because it's from one of the other chat rooms that you're not in.
Right. That's why I run YouTube on my phone quietly, so I know what's on YouTube and it's coming from somewhere else on because we
Yeah,
do somehow.
yeah, because
Yeah.
realistically, they'll all come in on one of those 7 that are posted. So
Yep.
just to reiterate, like Amelia and I always stress this on our shows because people are like, where is everybody? Where are these people coming from?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like, no. So we try to explain it because it can get pretty confusing. So
Yeah, it does.
there.
It really does.
I know. Sorry, I'm being dinged.
This is the chat that I look at. That's on YouTube. And
Right.
half the
I
people
watch-
are not there. Yeah. It's like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Are they
missing.
on your YouTube? Well,
Yeah,
these
it's
are
our
just
YouTube. It's
your
Preston.
YouTube. Okay. Because you can probably add yours
I
to
could
this too, but
probably.
you'd have to log into your own, right? I think.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Does
Hey.
I got a question. Does anyone watch anything in particular movie wise this time of year? I've been doing Hammer Horror, Amicus. I watched the old Tales from the Crypt from the 70s and Art of Horror. I just watched one called When Evil Lurks on Shudder from Argentina, and it pretty much made me sick, but it was good.
Yeah.
You know you're reaching when you're in Argentina for a horror flick, right?
Yeah, it was really. It's getting like
'Cause you're trying
100
to
on
find-
Rotten Tomatoes. It's one of Guillermo del Toro's friends.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's hard to find stuff in. We always say this on here or somebody asks me. I'm like, I've listed my favorite horror films on Facebook to see what other people, and I guess I must be really boring because only a few responded. But anyways, in this field, it's really hard to get interested in horror flicks when you're working this, and for us it's all year round. It's not just today.
Exactly, Amelia. Exactly.
Yeah,
Guess
it's
who
a
doesn't
different
watch
kind of
horror
thing.
films?
I'm sorry,
Guess who doesn't watch horror films?
you don't.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
I rarely
Really?
watch them.
Oh.
I'm actually when I have them on, like I had The Rings 2 on because I couldn't remember what happened in case asked me, but I've had it on in the background and I thought, what a fascinating story. But I'm laughing through all of the parts that you're supposed to be screaming. That's the problem. You know, I have friends, certain friends that I go to the movie theaters with when a new horror flick comes out. And of course, because of the big, sea thing that happened and everything, we kind of backed away from that. But I'm the only one laughing. And I think they find it more amusing to take me because I'm laughing instead of screaming. Like everybody during one of the films is like, and I'm just dying. Like I've got to cover my mouth because I'm laughing so hard.
Oh my gosh.
But there's different types of
silly.
movies.
Yeah.
But I don't like slasher films.
Yeah.
X on that one. Those aren't horror films. Those are crimes unless you're watching Halloween or what's the other one? Friday the 13th, because they're actually demons or zombies or whatever.
What was the one with the guy who had all the needles all over his whole body? Like pins.
Hellraiser.
I never
That's
watched
the
that.
one I actually watched, and I watched 25 minutes of it and went, nope, and turned it off.
Oh,
You
it
know what we
scares
did
you?
on our show? We made a joke out of it. Is my partner made me watch Halloween or Friday 13th. I'd never seen it, and Kevin Bacon I think was in it. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it was on a bigger screen in our old house, and I remember he was in his speedo. I'm going, what is that? And so we took a screenshot and I put it up on the screen. It wasn't anything obscene, but I don't know if he had a pack of gum in there or something, but good Lord, that was the funniest.
Oh my gosh, we're back on that.
Remember that? Everybody was calling it the thong at the end of the bed. And people were talking about it for 2 weeks because
That's because there was no HD then. That's why. So they can get away with a lot of stuff. But I like the films that are based on true stories. Those are the ones that I love the most and I like to watch. And I said my top one is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It's mostly based on court drama rather than
I've
The
seen
Haunting.
that.
Yeah, and of course The Right. I mean, nobody can dispute The Right. It's highly accurate. 13 Ghosts was fun.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, That one's
That
always
was all
interesting
done.
to watch. It doesn't feel like horror at all, though.
No.
The Blob is the classic. I love the Blob.
Yeah, press
The
the
Blob,
Blob.
blob.
The classics are the
I've
best.
never
Most of
seen
the new
it.
stuff is crap.
I can't handle it.
I've never seen the blog.
Oh,
Me
Don't feel
either.
bad.
It's
I've never
good.
watched Star
It
Wars
came
or
on
Star
TV
Trek either.
yesterday too. No.
It was on TV?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
On our
the
cable here.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it must.
Probably
That's
the
gotta
scariest
be.
for me was Fright Night. That's a pretty modern
Yeah.
movie, but that was scary.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I
That's some
I
good
like-
stuff. That's
I
some good
like-
stuff.
I like 3 remakes right now. Remakes, not originals. Now, Amityville Horror, I love the remake. I love the remake of Carrie because it tells more of a story. And I know everybody's gonna freak. The Omen. The remake is better than the original.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it extends the story, just like Carrie extends this. Carrie got ridiculous with the CGIs, but the story is continued, and that's what I look for: is the storyline, not necessarily, the
I did
thrill.
watch Rosemary's Baby, but that wasn't as horrible can get,
No, I did see that one too.
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby is a classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic like The Exorcist. Why they remade that, I'll never know. But
I don't know.
yeah,
We've watched Train to Busan. So
Yes.
the Japanese zombie ones. That's
Oh,
what we've been
gosh.
watching.
it
Yeah.
must be really cool.
All of
though.
us are dead. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
Mothra when I was 10 years old.
I love
That one
Mothra.
made me
Mothra's
laugh.
good.
Yeah.
I love Godzilla and
I
Mothra.
know what that
Mothra.
is.
Oh my God.
That was amazing. That one made me laugh. That
Wow.
was funny.
You know what my favorites are from childhood?
What?
And they were out before my time, but still love them. Was the old Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein
Oh,
meets
oh,
Dracula.
yeah.
Those
Those
are
are
my
good.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I love those too. But yeah,
They used to
Laurel and
have horror
Hardy,
movies
yeah.
every Friday night going back like in this, 70s, 80s. And my father would stay up. It was only once a month on a Friday night. My dad's like, okay, I'll stay up with you and watch them. I'm going, what for? Like nothing ever like frightened me, but I
No.
think he just wanted to step and watch it and he figured he needed an excuse. Look at my mother. I'm just going to stay up with her and watch the movies because they went on all night,
Wow.
and he'd fall asleep in the chair and I'd be just like, but they were all the old classics, all the old Boris Karloff, Bela
they're just fun
Lugosi,
to watch,
Christopher
right?
Lee.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
The original
my-
Frankenstein. I mean, come
I
on,
did
like
see
those
that.
films, and of course the Dracula Untold is really cool, and I Frankenstein brings it up to modern day.
Yeah. That last voyage of the Demeter was pretty good. I like
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I liked how they depicted the vampire in that. It was awesome.
Anybody see a comment you want to freeze? Freeze that comment. Go ahead.
Tabitha said, where did the story begin with the shadow people? I'm not sure what that. Maybe it was about the haunting of Hill House. I'm not sure. Nicole was talking about that.
Or maybe shadow people. Period.
That's I'm wondering. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, there never used to be talk about shadow people.
Some people believe they're an
Evil.
ET race or time travelers. Some people believe they're malevolent. Some people have gone as far as saying they're time travelers.
They're
I don't know. Thoughts?
interdimensional people.
Hmm?
They're interdimensional people, and if you're really, really psychic, you'll see them.
Yep.
And they are strange. They have weird sense of propriety, I guess. I don't know. They're very weird. I have one that I taunt back now. I finally got its number, and I was like, no, you can't bug me anymore. And it stared at me for a long time. And I said, guess what? I'm coming to get you. And I literally walked out of the house, went all the way down, went downstairs, walked out the back door. I was going to jump the fence. And it stood up because it was kind of squatting. And it looked at me and it went, mm-mm, and pff, it disappeared. And then it would show up a couple weeks later. And then I started throwing things at it, or I'd get a big flashlight, with those high beams, and just bolt it
Bam.
with the flashlight. And it finally put a message into my head. Why are you doing this? And I'm like, why are you? And I got a bird from it that night. I got a picture. That's the one I got the picture of. He shot me a bird. And I went, okay, fine. Have it your way.
Dolly's got moxie.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you want to
Dolly's
hear a Satan
moxie.
story? This is true. This happened to me for real. This is when I realized that I'm not afraid of anything. I'm 5 years old, and all of a sudden, I'm waking up in the middle of the night. lucid,
Spit it
have
out.
English. Lucid dreaming. Okay.
Right.
And I'm in this house and I hear this bad guy coming after me and he's saying my name like he owns me. And then I turn around and look and it's Satan himself staring me down saying, "You are mine. You belong to me." And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm not." No, no, no. And it kept chasing me all night. And finally got tired of it. And there was a staircase, old wooden staircase. And I grabbed the knoll post off it. And I held it like a bat. And I said, "Come here." And it looked at me. I mean, it looked at me and I said, "You're either Satan or a demon. Either one of you going to die. I will take you out." And I chased it out of the house. And fire was
I love
everywhere
it.
outside, all around this house. And I'm like, that's nothing for me. And I just levitated out and, went OBE and was gone. And my last words to it were, "I will get you." And my grandmother was screaming at it in the middle of the night. And she said, "Don't do that." No, tell it to go away. And she gave me words for it. And I've done that ever since. I'm not afraid of if you're a demon, you're in trouble with me. I will get you because I can go where you can go. You can't mess with me. And that's how I am. And I wish everybody knew that you have that ability as well. Everybody does. We're looking at somebody in this room has that ability. And see what I'm saying? You can stop evil if you want.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Nothing. It
I went
can't.
out of body and explored the hellish realms and went to a really dark, because I read other people doing it. I'm like, well, if they're going to do it, I can. And I got to this really low realm, and there were all these people around me. And this guy was flattering me, telling me how great I was, and I'm kind of looking at him. I didn't trust him. And his appearance changed into your classic demonic face. Really hellish. And I just kind of smiled and beamed love at him. And boy, did that piss them off. They lost their minds. They were snarling, clawing, screaming. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to leave now. It's gotten uncomfortable. But that is definitely, they're out there. These demonic beings.
They exist. They really do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're there.
I don't recommend taunting them.
Nope.
Yeah, especially when all
Oh my God, if you spit my hands on you once, you will never forget it.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the audience is more
Yeah.
I'm concerned about. I don't want them
No.
thinking that,
Yeah.
especially tonight and tomorrow, that they can go out and just
Yeah.
like fight
Veil
with
of
them.
sin
I
tonight.
investigated at least 3 haunting cases that began because people were just messing around with the Ouija board.
It's any communication, even just as
Enemy.
Dolly just did, saying, "Come after me, I'll get you." That's an open invitation.
You know, I
So
interviewed
yeah,
these sisters who were playing with the Ouija board, trying to contact Agnes Moorehead, their favorite actress. who
Oh my God.
passed on. And the board spelled out, "I am a demon." And they said, they said, "What is your name?" He said, "No offense to Bart, he's not here, but he says, my name is Bart." And he says, "I am a demon." And then it appeared in the house at the top of the stairs, freaked out the dogs. They all ran out. They
yeah.
didn't tell their mom at first, but the mom kept hearing her name being called. It generated this whole haunting in their house.
Yeah,
Now-
because they ran away from the board. It wasn't closed. Nothing was put away.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
The
believe
gate
that.
was
No,
left
no,
open.
that's it. That's right.
Yeah, the gate was left open.
I don't recommend messing around with the Ouija
Might
board.
still be if they haven't shut it down.
Right.
Well,
Could
that
still
was
be
years
lurking.
ago, but they can reappear years later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My poor mama had a demon my entire life. It would, we used to think she was Jekyll and Hyde. I'm not kidding. And every now and then this thing would just erupt from her. And it was not a happy camper. And when she was passing away, she was in a coma at first. And she did not wake up from that coma, but that demon did. And when her heart stopped, it jerked her up. And it gave us the most evil look. And when she laid back down, her body laid back down, my daughter and I could see it trying to decide what to do. My mother's eyes never shut. The pupils never dilated out. And my daughter's like, "It's looking at us." And I said, "Yeah, I know." So we have a family ritual. We cleaned her, anointed her, got her in her death shroud, wrapped her up. And it still wouldn't shut her eyes.
Hmm.
And I finally said, "That's okay. I got this." and I poured oil into her eyes and I shut them and I put tape across the bottom of her eyes and I said, "Go away." And she was being cremated right away, and they invited me down there the morning after they picked her up because I had to identify her body at that point because it was in another county. And when I went, he said, "Do you want to see her?" I went, "Nope." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Just take my word for it. I don't need to see her. I can see her in the bag. That's fine." He said, "Okay." And I was glad. And I warned everybody in my family who had anything to do with my mother who were near us while she was passing away. You need to be wary. You need to say your prayers every night. You need to strengthen your resolve. Don't let anything come at you or come in you. If you have a bad dream, wake up and say your prayers. And my daughter said it tried twice to come after her. So, yeah.
Popcorn's ready.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Popcorn's ready.
What they built that was about the size of a house or something. This was on Facebook with a pointer as big as a car. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you do this? How are you going to use that? You're going to sit on the pointer and like, that's going to summon an enormous demon.
Did anybody get kids at their doors?
Oh yeah,
I didn't have many.
I did
We talked
150
about that at the
million.
beginning. We had-
Wow, 150. That's great. You guys are so lucky. I'm so jealous. I'm in the country. Nobody
75.
comes here.
Wow.
75.
I'm in the city. We only got
That's
20.
nice.
Yeah.
Really
It
Yeah,
was
we got
fun.
about 20 also.
I love when the kids come to the door. I used to dress up, and
So did I.
my girlfriend was directly across the street. We would, like coordinate that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
we lived in a huge neighborhood, and we had thousands of kids come into the door every night.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
especially
it's
when I was
fantastic.
growing up because we were all European immigrants there. So yeah, like everybody knew everybody. It was safe to take anything from
Yes.
them. You knew who you were trick or treating, like where you were. I miss those days. I miss the innocence of the children and
Right.
and how it stops at a certain age.
Oh, I had teenagers come tonight, which was awesome.
That's it.
Like,
I'd
We
rather
had-
have them
if
at my
you-
door than
Yeah.
on the street, to be honest. But
if you're gonna dress up and come to the door, I'm gonna give you something.
absolutely,
I don't
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you took the effort. You might as well. You earned it.
Yeah.
Or when adults coming up asking for candy.
If somebody
All
comes
right.
up my
Okay.
driveway, if somebody
Okay.
comes up, if someone comes up my driveway, it's 150 feet long. I will give them money. Okay, up the driveway, knock on the door. But yeah,
I was
What
gonna
that
say
costume you saw today? Anyone see any really cute costumes?
Well, I was just going to add one thing to that. I was going to say, like, I have an adult son with severe autism, and he's very much like a 5 to 7-year-old, and
Yeah.
autism is really growing in prevalence. So, like, if he doesn't like to trick or treat, but there could be a lot of adult kids like that too, right? So I
yeah,
never asked
absolutely.
either.
There's
If they
nothing
come
wrong
with
with
the
that.
bag,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
came with
There's
two.
there's nothing wrong with that. The whole
Not
thing
at all.
when I say the age thing is because you start to scare off the elderly when you're almost 20. Like it scares them. They're afraid to open the door, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
But-
he
Well, Amelia, why don't
I'd
you
have to be
just sit
with
at the end
like
of your
sending a
driveway?
5-year-old out trick or treating, so his mom would be there. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But why don't I go give out at the end of my driveway? Because I live
Yeah.
on a rural highway.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why.
okay.
Yeah, we got the
I
same
like
kind of
my
driveway.
I
you
like
do.
my
Yeah.
life.
Me and you'd
Yeah.
be lost in the dust somewhere with some big trucks
Oh
going
my
by.
God.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
dirt
Ran
that
out of
comes off of
candy.
them.
I haven't seen any trick or treaters in like 15 years here in
oh
Florida.
wow.
Oh,
And
I
it's really
miss them.
disgusting.
We had she was so cute. She was maybe about 3, and the mom was a homemade costume. She had cotton, so it looked like a cloud, and then she'd made a rainbow and put all these LED lights in it, so you could see
Aw.
her coming like this lighted rainbow up the street.
Perfect.
It was so stinking cute.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
perfect.
Cute.
My favorite costume I ever saw, but it was online. The 2 little girls were dressed like Ethel and Lucy.
Oh, fun!
Oh,
I just
Aw.
loved it. I just loved it. But yeah, I miss it. When my daughter was younger, because she's 26 now. So when she was younger and she was trick or treating, we would go into either our cousin's neighborhood or a friend of ours. And of course, I would bring candy for everybody because we're not just there to take, And I miss that. I used to I would have to fight with myself and whether or not I wanted to stay back at the house or walk with, all the kids. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was
my
so
ex and I
cool.
took turns. We would go
Yeah.
out there, and he would go like this quadrant, and then I would go to that quadrant, and come back
Yeah.
and give out candy in between. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun to see them and how their excitement. And one friend of ours, their old neighborhood, they all got into it with the music and all the
we
stuff.
played
They got
music
right
all
into
this
it.
stuff, yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah,
decorated
it was really
outside
nice.
and had spooky things going on. It was very cool.
I gave all my stuff away.
Oh,
My daughter's got her Christmas tree up in her office.
Oh God,
me a
sacrilege!
Yeah.
Sacrilege!
That's my daughter. She can't
What?
wait for Christmas. She can't wait. She's got a
Wow.
little. It's just a little tree in her office corner, and she sent me a picture, and I started laughing.
I had to go to the Home
Yeah.
Depot tonight with Wayne. I walk in, all the Halloween stuff's gone. It's all Christmas stuff. I'm walking
Already?
around all frowning.
It's
all
been out for a
bummed,
long time. There's a
Everyone's all
Christmas
happy
tree.
except me. He's like,
Oh, I was so happy. There's a Christmas tree
No,
named
soon.
Sparkling Amelia. I'm like, we need to get the tree. I don't care if I have nowhere to put it. We're getting this tree.
too soon.
I just
I
think, man,
told
all
him-
the Halloween's gone already. That's sad.
It
Yeah.
was gone last week. I mean, the grocery store still have it, but I was in Michael's 2 weeks ago and it was packed. And I went, what the heck? Like,
Aw.
and nobody buys anything at the beginning because they put everything on sale. So, but yeah, it's already full. I love Christmas, so I love both. But I am one of those people that will have their tree up in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's
I'm
a
looking
sweet.
at-
That's a sweet comment that Nicole. Somebody put it
Yeah, I
up.
put it up there. So I'll
Yeah,
read it.
that's a sweet comment to
Yeah,
share.
it is.
Yeah, so
Aw.
Nicole Thomas Ryan said I was a ladybug today for work for my pre-K kids. She's a pre-K teacher. And she said I had to leave and go to a doctor appointment. Leaving the doctor's office, a little 3-year-old girl ran over to me and hugged me and said, "Bye, ladybug. Thanks for the
Uh-huh.
hug."
Aw.
That's so cute.
I miss the
That is.
little ones.
Mm.
Are so cute. One was really creative. I shared it online. They made they used an industrial sized mop head, a commercial size, and put it over. She must have been 3 years old, maybe younger. And then they glued meatballs, so she was spaghetti and meatballs. Oh my god, that was
Wow.
brilliant.
That was cool.
That was brilliant.
Amazing. That
That's
was.
cute.
Yeah.
That's
My
amazing.
son has his first job kind of in the field that he's wanting to move into. My youngest son is 18.
Nice.
So yes, it's super fun. He's wanting to do culinary arts. So he's got this fantastic job that he loves. Invited to staff Christmas or Halloween party, first, sort of adulty party that he's going to. And they were dressing up for Halloween as well too. And he was overthinking it and getting really frustrated because he's the youngest. Like they're all much older than him,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And he's only 18. So I made him put a black t-shirt on and we put stripes like a road and I taped a fork on it. So he was
That's cute.
looking at-
That's cute. No, yeah.
Wow.
like those punny ones are awesome. Like punny costumes are
Yeah.
fun.
A friend of mine once put on a slip and he went as Freudian slip. It was a
Oh,
Freudian
Aw.
slip.
That's
fun.
Brilliant.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. It took
Have you
me a
seen
bit,
Cotton
but-
Eye Joe? Have you seen the Cotton Eye Joe? So you put cotton over your eye and then you just put your name tag on, Joe?
Oh, so where's Joe?
Cotton Eye
Speaking
Joe.
of, where's his cotton eye? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I miss that. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are
It's-
fun. I watched the Sopranos. They came together and they had a Halloween party at Tony Soprano's house where they filmed out of, and they had the production and crew dress as the cast.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
I thought that was really cool. Not scary, but I mean, a couple of them had meat cleavers, so yeah.
Neat.
My parents used to dress me up as a clown, me and my sister. I
Yeah.
never liked it. I don't like
Wow.
clowns.
Wow.
Be happy you didn't have an Italian
They-
mother. I was always dressed like a gypsy.
I hate clowns. I hate clowns with a passion. I can go to the most demonic house and investigate it, but you put me in a room with clowns and baby dolls, I'm done. I'm out of there.
So are you scared? Let's explore this. So are you why though? Do you think
I'm gonna see if I can find my clown. No,
I
I'm
can
you
tell you
scared
why
of-
I don't like clowns.
Sean?
Yeah.
Sean, are you
What's it?
scared? Are you scared of clowns or
I just don't like them.
porcelain clowns too, Sean? Like little pretty porcelain ones?
Yeah, any clown face, anything.
Harlequins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew
Oh.
somebody
Like one
scared of
clown,
clowns
and that
too.
was Red Skelton's hobo guy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Clem Cadiddlehopper. He was a wonderful clown, best clown ever.
Well, you
dad was
painted
a
him.
Mason
That's how
and a
good he
Shriner,
was.
and he used to take me to the Shriners Christmases, and they have millions of clowns. These guys all dressed up like clowns. And I was just standing there staring at everybody, and I was trying to like meld into the wall because I really don't like clowns. And
Thank
all of
you.
a sudden, my hair went up on my neck, and I looked to my left, and I see safety pins all over this guy. And I'm like, and I look up, and he's full of safety pins. He had safety pin earrings, he had a safety pin nose ring, he had safety pins all over his clothes, everywhere, and he had clown makeup on top of it. He had
Ew.
safety pins in his shoes. And I said, "You're a clown?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Why?" Why? And he said, "Because some people like the scary clowns." And and
I'm just gonna say, so you feel safe around clowns with the safety.
no, I'm
Yeah,
not,
and
not
I'm-
as long as I
I'm
live,
not.
you know?
I'm not trying to be dismissive, Sean. I just really wanted to understand. Like, we all have things that we get
Like
scared of, or
phobias,
that
right?
we're phobias. Yeah, and where does it really? Where does it stem from?
Well,
Right?
fear of clowns is very prevalent in society. It's called chlorophobia. And
You want that?
this turns up, it's especially prominent among UFO contactees.
Interesting.
And I brought this up at a UFO contact group. I'm like, how do you guys feel about clowns? Because sometimes ETs, especially to little kids, will dress up or appear as clowns coming into their room, kind of a screen.
For me, honest
I
to
mentioned
God,
that UFO contact meeting, everyone lost their minds.
I couldn't even go to the damn circus. I couldn't even go to the circus.
You shouldn't. It's good that you can't go to the circus. You should never support the circus.
Oh, okay. I don't
They
know
hurt
why.
their animals, so it's maybe.
Where's the
it's-
clown motel? Where is that in the States?
That's in Arizona. I think that's in Arizona.
I've seen it. I've never been there, but I've seen
I
it.
ain't going there. I'll sleep out in the damn car.
I'm so
What about
sorry
the
you have
doll?
that.
Yeah,
What's
but what
that?
about the dolls too? What's with the dolls for
The
you?
dolls, they're just like so creepy. I just walk in, especially the porcelain ones. One day I walked in and it just like gave me the freaking creeps. Because I, honest to God, thought, and please don't think I'm, dumb or whatever.
No,
No.
it's a phobia. It's
but-
understandable.
But I, honest to God, thought the porcelain doll was looking at me. And when I was moving, it was moving its eyes.
John, we had my previous co-host, Seraphine. She used to collect haunted items, and behind us on some of our previous shows, there was one doll in particular. The hand would move sometimes, and the doll would look like it's smiling or it would blink. I had no idea till one day I was chatting to her off air. That doll had a painted face.
Oh,
I hear you. I don't think you're dumb. There's lots of people who don't like dolls, so I was just asking out of curiosity.
There's a whole story called Robert the Doll. So there's
oh
nothing
yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
I read about
Yeah, and never watch the movie The Boy because that's who it's
Okay.
based on.
Okay,
wow.
I'll make sure I won't watch that. But
No,
then again,
Too late.
dolls and clowns, I'm okay, but I'm not okay with. But I can go into a very, very, I hate to say the word demonic, but a very hostile house, and I have no problem doing it. You know what I mean? I just,
well, I'm afraid of spiders, which is another reason why I don't do investigations. But
I love
Said
spiders.
everybody's afraid of something, right?
but
Like,
it's so bizarre. I don't like little creepy crawly spiders in my house, but I will. If somebody gave me a tarantula, I look at them like puppies, and it's okay. But not the the ones
wolf
that
spiders?
bounce at any move. I need to see them slow and don't move.
Yeah.
Can't hide.
Yeah, that one can't hide. That one can't hide. But I mean, if somebody said, "I'll give you $100 to put that," I would do it, no problem.
Well,
I mean,
you
it's
should come to our
$100.
zoo. We had tarantulas at our zoo, and they mated, and they had babies. And it
Oh my
wasn't just
God.
5 or 10; it was hundreds of babies.
Oh yeah.
And I had my hand in the tank, and they were crawling all over me. And Mom was right there because she trusted me. I knew her. And my cousin Kathy walked around the door and started throwing up and screaming, "Get out! shocked.
Oh God.
Oh, they had babies. She freaked completely out. She did not know they were pregnant or having babies at all. We were all surprised about it. She said, "What are we going to do with them?" And I said, "I really don't know. We're not selling them." And we had to find other zoos who needed tarantulas.
Raleigh, you had the
Yeah.
most fascinating upbringing. Wow, that would have been my dream.
I was an adult.
I know
then, yeah.
there's a lot of work with a zoo, but with all the animals, wow.
Yeah. When you're psychic, you kind of attract. I'm pretty sure. Preston, don't you have a lot of people who have a lot to do with animals that are psychic or contactees?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
a rare
thing.
contactee that doesn't have a very close connection to animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a contactee. No. But yeah, I can imagine that.
Whatever.
No, no. They had. I live
Don't
next.
start.
I live next to this. It used to be a working farm, and they had cattle and sheep and that. And of course, I loved going over there, even though there's electrical fence. They were for the petting zoo that was not far from here. Michelle will know which one I'm talking about. They used to hold and keep the camels here for them in the winter. And one time we were playing, my family and I, we get like when we're together, we love to play like softball and do active things. We don't like to sit around. So we were playing softball in the backyard, and it goes into next door. And my poor late brother, rest in peace, had to jump the fence to go get the ball, and then he got chased by a camel. I'm like, that thing runs faster than you. Just go down. Just go down. He's like, it's gonna spit on me. But it was like as fast as it was running for him, it was slow motion. Because I got electrocuted on the fence. And if I got electrocuted every day, I would go over it.
We had an angry llama that lived next to us when we were kids.
Oh, they're nasty. I got hit by one of those.
Yeah, right over my sister, knocked her down. We were running away, little kid. Ah!
That's frightening.
They spit.
Ran her right over.
They bite too. Yeah, they spit and they bite.
They spit. Oh, it's nasty. But there's we have a cute llama. You can go pet them as but you can go see them. My daughter loves to go there.
They like to spit at you too, though.
They do spit. These ones are wearing sweaters in the winter, and they're made from their own fur.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I just want to tell you guys, Jeffrey just sent me a message to apologize. Said the weather's not very good. We're in Florida, so he said the internet's been kind of croaky, so he's going to try and hop back in if he can, but he didn't want to not do it without saying goodbye.
Yeah. I'm good for another 20.
Michael's saying John Wayne Gacy ruined clowns.
I was thinking that earlier because I follow true crime quite a bit too. And it freaks people out sometimes, but I don't know if it's a nurse in me or
Are you a
what
nurse?
it is.
Are you a nurse?
Yes, I am.
Yes, she is.
I'm a nurse.
Yeah. And it's trying to figure out the psyche, I think, like why somebody would be so evil. I also do, well, a lot of us on here are really intuitive. I do psychic mediumship and Akashic records, and most of us do that kind of stuff. I think with the paranormal, it almost seems, doesn't it? They go hand in hand.
I don't know about John Wayne Gacy. There were killer clowns before him. You might want to look that up, Michael. I think there's a lot of other stories even before him. There's just there's just not the the quantity of murders and victims that he had. But there are, if you go way back, 1920s, 1910s, the fair where Jack the Ripper started in Chicago, you'll probably find the clowns there as well. Because people would lower their guard with clowns. It was a great way to get a victim.
Trend that was a couple of years ago where people were going out dressed as
yeah, that was awful.
What were they doing? I didn't hear you.
You don't want to know.
Go up to doorbell cams and they'd have a balloon and they'd pull out a knife or just stand there and stare. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it.
No. I'd sucker punch them. I really would.
I'd kick them right in the middle.
I took my niece to see it at the drive-in.
And that was a silly film.
So there was so many cars that had tied a big red balloon to their, side mirrors.
That would be so funny to get the drive-in.
There's a lot of people tied
she got her anxiety got up so high with the whole clown thing. We ended up leaving.
Oh,
We didn't
wow.
end
Wow.
up staying.
No, look who
People
decides
tie
to
them on
join
their
it.
sewers for Halloween too as a decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look who decides to join.
Well, look who's here.
Ah,
You didn't have to jump, just lower your volume. Welcome to your
Oh,
show,
y'all
Joe.
can't be scaring me like that. Y'all
Hey,
can't-
Joe.
Welcome to your show.
Welcome to mine. I was just popping in. I was doing archives, and actually, that's what reminded me there was a show.
I sent it to you. I did.
know, and I've been advertising
I
it
told
all
him the
week.
same
That's the
thing. I'm
sad
like, where
part.
are you?
And like I said, I've been advertising it all damn week, and then I was like, wow, what's going on? So what
That's
kind of trouble y'all getting into in here tonight?
Yeah, usual.
Do I need
Talking
to
about
break it?
like creepy clowns right now.
No, don't tell him because he's gonna put it on the screen to
Oh
freak out.
no.
Yeah.
Don't even think
Yeah.
about doing
That
it.
gives me an idea. Let me see
No,
something.
no, no,
No,
no,
see,
no.
he's gonna torture him.
Oh,
He's gonna
come
torture
on
him.
now. No.
I feel like I should sing the Brady Bunch.
Man, we all look
When
good
you do
like
that.
this. What are you talking about?
There's a story.
Oh, now
Everybody looks, everybody looks good. It's it's funny because I just got through carving. I usually do it on All Hallows Eve, but it's been a weird week, so I did it today. I got to have one in front of my house and one behind my house because I have two sets of stairs. So I'm
Did you get any kids, Joe? We were talking about that earlier.
No, I like to know nothing's come floating through my house. We're not going to get any kids here because where I live, it's this time of year, everybody's pretty much gone. Everybody's back in whatever city they live in, because it's a tourist place, I guess. It's
Well, why are you still there?
because I live here. That's why I said I'm the only smart one that actually lives in the place. It's a tourist
It's beautiful where you live. For
It
the
is.
pictures, anyways.
It is. It's really pretty out here.
But how come you're not in like New Orleans
Huh?
tonight? Just like, is there nothing going on in New
There's lots
Orleans?
of stuff, but most of the good stuff goes on the night before Halloween. So most of the good parties, like the vampire balls, there's 3 of them. There's one tonight. There's a vampire ball night. And I don't remember if they're still doing Anne Rice's ball or not since she passed. But
Can I ask you, Joe, because I was talking about this last night. What's the restaurant in the French Quarter in New Orleans where they think it's a vampire that runs it? What's the name of it?
it's hold on. It's it's Arnold's, isn't it? Yeah.
Hi,
so-
Linda.
the room. Quarter Two Sisters are old and famous too, but it's Arnold. So when you walk into the restaurant, there's portraits going down the wall for the last 175 years, I think it is. Well, if you look at the portraits, they look like the same person, just dressed differently.
You said he never ages, right? Is it
Well,
Antoine?
That's supposed to be. That's Anne Rice said the owner was a vampire, and just every so often he just changes his look to keep up with the modern era. But it's still the same guy. So I've never met him, so I don't know. I don't think I want to meet him. Plus, tonight's the night they like to go out and they like to take little sips of people. They'll go up and they'll take a little nip. They get a little nip, and whatever you happen to be on, whether it's alcohol or drugs or happiness, they get a rush of the same thing. They get the same drug goes into their blood or alcohol, whatever it is. So I don't know. I'm not really.
I got alcohol-free blood, and I'm O negative. They would have a feast.
Hey, I stay away from vampires. It's not another thing I want to get involved with. I used to dress up like when I was younger because when I was going out for Halloween and stuff. I actually thought about going out this year, and I was like, no, because I live so far from the city now that I'd have to get a hotel.
Yeah.
Because somewhere along the line, I'd have to have a drink. So, so I decided, no, because now there's another good party that goes on in All Hallows Eve, which is at the dungeon. They put on so this little place, it's over by Pato. So this little place, they got a little alleyway that you got to like cram to get in there. Then they got like a little moat drawbridge thing. You go in, and then you go into the club, and I'm not kidding you. From the bar to the wall is about. Let me see. Can y'all see me? No, it's about yay wide. I don't know. It's enough for 2 people to squeeze, and I mean squeeze past each other. I tell everybody all the time, if you're claustrophobic or you don't like people touching you, don't go in that place.
Don't like people touching you.
Well, you're not going to get through without somebody's hand going somewhere it does not belong. And most of the time, it's not even on purpose. It's,
Ew.
That doesn't work
Yeah.
with me. Like with the kickbox training, they'd end up on the floor.
oh no, you
Ew.
wouldn't even have
Yeah.
enough to hit him. There's no room. I mean, literally, when I say there's no room, so I'm usually like this, squished.
You can
know?
always squeeze something.
And whoever I have with me, like Linda, somebody's with me, I have them behind me so I can kind of go through this crowd. I mean, it's ridiculous because what they got is the bar and the bar chairs, and everybody trying to get to the bar. And then there's this little bitty pathway so you can try to get upstairs where the dance room is. And the other bar is, if you can get out there without getting squished to death. It's
Nothing about that sounds fun.
it's a very
No, not at
I'd
all.
rather drink at
Smelly.
home.
Not at all, Carrie.
but the
It's
good
smelly.
side to all of
Guys,
this is
I'm
usually
claustrophobic.
upstairs there'll be somebody famous, you know. All the
Oh,
famous
who
people like to go
cares?
hang up there because it's just a really weird club. And
Just
it's
walk
famous.
I'll
into
meet
any
Sean at the Demonic House.
walk into
We'll go
any
there instead.
Yes.
walk into any Four Seasons hotel. You're gonna find celebrities. You don't need to walk through
Oh, no, not
10,000
these
people
kind
to
of,
get to a
not these
bar.
kind of
Bill
celebrities.
Gates owns most of that now. Did you know that?
These kind of
What?
celebrities don't
Really?
stay at the Four
How
Seasons.
does he own that? If
He,
it's
he owns a good chunk of it. If you look online,
I don't know how he
that
owns
came
it.
up recently. I was like, Bill Gates owns a huge
Aw,
chunk.
there's Wayne.
You know what though? The
majority of it.
Sharps sold part of it to the Hyatt, so maybe they sold it to him.
Just saying.
Because
Hi, Wayne.
the Sharps still have controlling interest though.
Yeah.
Hi,
I
Wayne.
don't know. They're showing that he owns a lot more than that. I don't know. I'd
I'm
find out if I were
surprised.
A
you.
lot of stuff.
I'm surprised being that they're Jewish owners. I find that
And
Oh,
now his
surprising.
kids own a lot of
I
stuff.
guess it's all about following the money. You know.
well, no, they've retired.
Elon.
Most of them are
Telling you,
retired or
Elon is
passed
the
away.
next God.
That's why I'm curious to see who sold it.
Mhm. Yeah.
I know that, right? Elon's the next God, right? Y'all might as well just start worshiping.
Oh,
Elon.
there he goes, his
There
man
we go.
crush.
You might as well just start worshiping Elon.
That's Joe's
Don't
man
call
crush.
me when the sea in front of you parts. I'm not
Elon
helping
is
Joe's
you.
got a
big,
man crush on Elon.
He always, anytime we have a panel show, Joe will bring up Elon
Elon.
Musk.
Elon is the next God. I'm telling y'all. I mean, come on. He told Putin to go take a flight, and you know what, man? I mean, that takes a
Oh
big one.
boy. Oh boy.
He just laughs at Biden. It's just kind of
Oh.
hilarious to listen to it.
We want to go
But I
there.
have been talking about listening to him and NASA talking about taking
See?
some bars.
Through Cascade Investment and Prince Al Walid bin Talal through Kingdom Holding Company. He didn't do it through his own name.
Bastard.
No. That just means he's smart.
But he's majority owners with two other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Are you talking about Gates or Musk?
Gates.
Gates.
That
Musk,
makes sense.
no, Musk would be. He'd be bragging about that.
Hold on, I gotta grab a coat.
Is anybody calling Twitter X yet?
I'm not on Twitter.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I was on it. You know how many times I've shut it down and I had loads of followers? I can't get into it. I don't have the time. It's a job.
Mhm.
It's a job and there's clicks and I got bullied on there and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Like by adult women bullied. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
You know what was cool about Musk? I saw a picture, and if I'd not known what it was, it would have been the strangest thing. I guess when he was sending some of his satellites up, he made like a satellite train. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen it? With all the
I
lights?
Yeah.
posted it because I didn't know what the hell it was.
It's
Yeah,
so
we see them down
cool.
here quite a bit. A friend of mine got a beautiful photo of it, but she's a professional photographer, so she's got the lenses and just a really cool
It was
picture.
38 satellites in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
it
it
was just
amazing?
recently, a couple weeks. I think it was over Vaughn or Mississauga, Lortley.
Yeah, he's
One
done
or
it
the
4
two.
times.
Yeah.
This is not the first time.
No, but this is the first time that I've seen it, and I
Oh,
didn't know
so
what
you
it
saw it in
was.
real life?
Yeah.
You saw it in real life?
No, just
Oh.
a video. I've never seen it. I
Oh.
don't. Yeah,
Wow.
it surprised me. I've never
Amazing.
seen a UFO. I've never seen any of those things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Georgia's kind of like in the flight path of the ISS and all that stuff. We see stuff like that regularly in Georgia.
I have a UFO
Yeah.
question. Okay, so what about, have you heard the phenomena? I know it's Mike Clellan, but mostly with owls and UFOs. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, it is a thing, and it's mostly people. Owls are in our mythology. They're,
Mhm.
you know, through the Celts, everybody. Okay, so they're very big in the minds of people, and we sometimes need something to look at other than reality when we're facing ET for the first time, or when we're nervous or something's happening and we don't want to. And they will cover. They'll let you pick. Your own mind will bring it up, and you'll see.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's why
Makes sense.
some people see them more often than others, you know. And
That's why I was wondering, because not everybody sees an owl. So I knew that makes so much sense what you just said, Dolly.
you prefer owls, it'll come up owls. Yep.
I've never seen somebody dressed as a gray for Halloween. That would be cool. We would never know
Should
the
have seen
difference.
Preston when it came on.
Aw,
I know.
I miss
Preston,
it.
Where are you,
put your mask on. Show Amelia, put your mask on. It's very cute.
Thank you, Preston, for
Preston
indulging
has-
us.
Yeah,
I didn't
he
see it
has
either,
an
Amelia.
mask. Awesome mask.
Give me a
It's
second.
from Australia.
Okay, I can rewind.
Yes, I bought it for him.
Oh, I love it.
That's
Michelle
great.
from Australia.
I love it.
It looks like Paul.
I know.
Yeah,
It
you're
does.
right.
That's my favorite alien. That is
Mine
my
too.
man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Of all
that
the
one I
depictions
can
of the
handle
Greys,
him. He
it's all right.
curses. I love him.
Need a
And
Seth
he
Rogen
drinks.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He drinks
Paul
and he
Rogan,
curses.
yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
Dolly,
Oh.
I'm still thinking about that. That is the most, I never even considered that. That is such,
That's so awesome.
makes so much sense about why some people see the owls.
Yeah, it's aliens and cowboys. Wayne saying aliens and cowboys.
Jackrabbits.
The owl thing is very common when it comes to UFOs.
Yeah.
There's definitely a link there.
I'll bring a corollary up for you.
We
Native
had Mike
peoples
Clown on the
around
show.
the world
Yeah.
have spirit animals, right?
Right.
Think about what that means. Spirit animals. They're star children, right? And they have spirit animals, and some prefer this spirit over that spirit over that spirit. They have more in tune with its attributes, whatever, and that's what they see when they're communicating with
Can
you.
you
I have a
have-
Black Panther where I just
Ooh.
worked with a shaman and had some healing work done. And I really identified with it because I had to channel it as part of the message. And I wasn't thinking of this, but it came out that apparently I'm connected to the Lyrians, the cat people. I don't know why, but that's what came out when I was
wow.
channeling.
Can you have more than one spirit animal? Because
Yeah.
I feel like the lion and the
Yes.
elephant for me.
Yeah, multiples. Yep,
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay.
You
And of
can have
course,
the
my
alpha.
dog, he's king. The dog, he's king. We're so lucky to live here with him.
Yeah, we
He
have
lets
a
us
great
live here.
Dane. She's 130 pounds
He's
now.
so cute.
She's a monster, and she owns
What kind
us
of
now.
dog?
Great
Great
Dane.
Dane. A small
We did
pony.
not
Oh,
pick her. She showed
A
up.
little
Small.
pony.
Yeah,
Small ponies, right?
Yeah.
Small
exactly.
Yeah.
With a tail that could whoop your ass. No,
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
surprised
okay.
mine hasn't been up here.
Yeah.
My other
Yeah.
German Shepherd.
Dolly is a rebel.
kind of have to be.
You can actually say that.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We can say that?
Yeah, you can say ass
Yeah.
if you
Oh, thank
want.
God. Here, I'm going to show you this. This is two of my cats. These
It's
are
not the F word.
tigers. Somebody we knew bred them.
They're your people, Lorley.
Yeah. And I got them. They weren't doing good, and they brought them to me to take care of and raise up so they got healthy again, okay? And these are my ligers. That's Laverne and Shirley.
Aw,
Aw.
that's so
Well,
cute.
Vernon, Shirley,
Come on, how can
really
you not
cute.
connect with something like that? Like,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, that's Laverne.
Oh my God.
They're massive. They're the biggest cats there are. Just because the gene for tigers, they breed a male lion to a female tiger, and the lion breeding it breaks the key for the size code, the genetics from a lion to a tiger, and they
Right.
can be 1,700 pounds. They're huge and ginormous.
Actually, I
Yeah.
have seen adult ones because there's an animal communicator, Anna Breitenbach, and I know I've seen some of the
Oh, yes.
documentaries where she's worked with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
my cousin has a cat. Well, my godmother's daughter has a cat that looks like Sylvester from the cartoons,
Aw.
but it's a blue point color, like a bluey gray and white.
Nice.
It's like a
Oh, that's pretty.
flippin' this
I like those.
big, and it's like a rag doll. Like, it's so beautiful.
Oh, I'm a ragdoll person.
Oh,
Yeah, I
rag
got
dolls are
you
really
Ew.
Oh my
They're
God.
really
My aunt had a
cute.
rag doll. Ugh.
Yeah.
It was
Arkham
beautiful.
and Eartha May.
I'm gonna
Those
show
are
you my
our red
baby
dolls.
You
daggers.
have them, don't you? I thought so.
Those are my baby daggers. There's 4 of them. I was mama.
Oh.
Their mother
Nice.
had them. It was 60 degrees when she went into labor, and it went down to 43, and they were going to die because they'll die. They'll drop their metabolism. We had to pull them, and I worked for 2 weeks straight keeping those babies alive. And I got told, "Well, they're yours now," so I raised them. So
Here's a question for all you animal lovers and pet. Well, actually, our pets keep us. But do
True.
you ever dress them up for Halloween?
Yes. Not this year, but yes, I've done it.
Can you
No.
see the little Chucky doll ones, man?
No.
No, my
that's
dog
funny.
was Captain Jack Sparrow. He even had the sword and the braids.
Guys, my daughter would have loved that. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh my
And we
God,
put
they're
Adidas
great.
running
Pet
shoes on him.
abusers. I'm telling y'all are pet abusers.
Maine Coon cats. Yes, Kathy.
Oh, those are huge.
Yeah.
Big cats.
hmm
My stepson has one big fur ball.
I want to bring a lion home.
She's dressed in her Halloween bandana. I forget what it says.
Yeah, raise one. You can't bring them home as adults. You will never bond. But if you get one as a baby and you raise it yourself, then you got it. You're good to
The
go.
lion or the Maine Coon cat?
Either one, Maine Coon or
Oh, okay.
lion.
My daughter's got a Maine Coon cat. He's huge. He lives here right now, and he's huge.
I
He's
believe
got
you.
lots of
Look how-
freaking
look how
fur. Like
happy
was all
Michelle
over
is.
my damn.
Yeah, they're bad for
I'm
air
allergic to
conditioning.
them,
Huge.
so yeah.
They're big, big cats. Yeah.
We had a cat a long time ago, but it was a rescue cat.
Yeah.
But my daughter and I are both highly allergic. So if you're listening, I hope if you have black cats at home that they're safe
This is for
indoors.
Amelia. You see, this is for
Yeah.
you, Amelia.
What's that?
Is he
This
having a
is
donut?
hand-dipped chocolate donut.
A chocolate donut?
Those
I
two
don't
go
like-
after each other with
Chocolate
food
covered.
porn
It
all
looks
the damn
gross.
time.
Oh
It
no,
looks
it's
gross.
good.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all.
Ooh, yeah, it's delicious.
It looks manufactured by a
It's
factory.
dark- it's dark chocolate, too.
Amelia does everything
was
homemade. That was a
manufactured by
dig,
me.
Joe.
Amelia's made donuts homemade.
Cindy Simpson is just saying that she dresses up all her
Eagle
animals.
fingers.
Yes, it's fun, right? I don't think they
Uh-huh.
like it as much as we do, but I love the new Chucky ones that are going out there.
They
with
are
the
those cute.
Chucky puppy dogs.
Cool as hell, yes.
That
I
I
did
saw
give my dog
Dracula.
the lion bonnet. They had them out, but
Oh,
she-
those are
really
cute.
cute.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
but
I like
she didn't
those.
keep
I
it
like
on.
those.
I
It's
did.
ears too, so it doesn't
No.
look very well.
Nobody get offended because this was posted on Instagram Reels, but there was a little cat's face in a folk bowl, and I don't think that was a good idea.
I don't either. Yeah, my sister-in-law had dachshunds, and she used to put the outfit on them like they look like they're carrying the gun, or they're
Yeah.
running with the firemen and stuff. They're so cute.
That's
know.
I
funny.
died every time I saw them. I was like, oh my God, what are you gonna do now? You know?
Oh
So
wow!
I don't know what my grandpuppy's dressed up as this year. I guess I'll find out. My son will send me pictures tomorrow. He's a little Boston Terrier, and his brothers are
Aw.
corgi beagles, so they're the perfect size for those little short-legged little cute.
Especially the corgis. Oh my god! You have to help them up like a little carpet lift.
They've got the cutest butts when they walk.
Thank
and
you. They
they're-
look like deer walking away from
Yeah.
you. They look like deer butts, don't they? It's
Yeah.
little deer butts.
So
It looks like
waggy,
deer
waggy,
got a
butts.
swagger.
waggy,
They
waggy.
do.
I
They're
love
like
them.
a
and
skunk.
swagger.
You pay attention. You pay attention, just like a skunk. They
We
command
have
respect when they
so
walk.
many
Yeah.
skunks, and they are not afraid of people. One summer, the first summer I moved into this townhouse, I was out in the backyard, and I loved creating. I made this fireplace that sat on the table. So I'm sitting out in the backyard. It's 2 a.m. by myself, and I'm on my phone, and all of a sudden I feel something lick my baby toe on my left foot, and I go, "Oh, isn't that sweet? Emmy's giving me and Emmy's my dog." And I went, "Oh my God, Emmy's not out here." I looked down. It was a freaking baby skunk. Why?
That happened to
Mama.
me.
Wow. Mommy.
That happened to me.
I've never heard our cat. We have a cat now. She was feral. She's a Munchkin cat. She was feral when we moved out here, and she got injured, and I trapped her and brought her in. Okay.
Yeah.
And she loves us. We're good. It's been a year since she's been in the house. And one night we have these big sliding glass doors, and we got the shades, the levelers. shut on him, but she's pushing him apart, going, you know, but she sounded like the devil himself. And I pulled the chorus back, and there's this raccoon on the other end going, "Hey, how you doing?" And the big fat one. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
I love raccoons.
she was gonna kill him.
Trash pandas.
Yeah, I love the ones that open the windows to people's kitchens and they wait for their snacks. Those are cute.
Aw,
In Ontario, it's against the law to feed them now.
I did not know that.
Yes,
Why?
they passed the law because they can't manage on their own, and they're coming into the cities, and you know
Same
some
as
are
here.
rabid
Same
and that.
here
So
all the time here.
You know we make hats out of raccoons down here, right?
Right, that's true.
We
They
feed
do.
the raccoons
guys,
to the
don't you
people
barbecue
and
them
make a
there,
hat out
too?
of the rest of them.
Yeah, they have raccoon is good eating. Yeah, so is
Yeah.
possum.
Oh God.
So is
They-
armadillo.
I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I
No,
gotta correct myself.
rattlesnake.
It was
Groundhogs are good eating.
Yeah.
Groundhogs.
Frog legs.
I never
Oh,
ate
man, I
legs,
live-
and we used to go frogging. I'm not kidding.
You put
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
on it.
Michelle, Lorley,
Yeah.
Preston, and I, we need to go now. If you
Yeah,
can't read our
I'm
faces,
kind of like,
you
what?
ain't psychic when you're talking.
Frog
We
legs.
need
What?
to go now because we do not fit
We used
in
to eat
here.
gator too. No kidding. I'm not kidding. My daughter loves gator. So
You're
that's
gonna
Oh,
tell me
alligators,
you've never
good.
eaten any
Alligators
of that
delicious.
stuff.
No.
Okay,
yeah,
then
and
you
I
can
eat
come in.
snails too. Honest to God, I eat
Let's
snails
leave the
too.
three of them
Yeah.
here and let's go talk about Halloween.
Well, no,
I
I
didn't-
remember hearing about Boudin. It was Southerners on some fake reality show, and they were talking about Boudin and all this stuff. And then we were looking it up to see what it was. It was like, oh, good Lord.
Oh God. No, I'm good. Seriously.
I always say if you need to lose a few pounds, go to Scotland or England and you'll do well.
You're gonna eat Hydas.
No, I'm not. That's why
I
I'm going to
think
lose
they-
the weight.
Hey,
Okay,
haggis
does
is,
Dave
haggis
really
is
have a
good.
skunk story? He says he has a skunk story.
Oh, it's a great story. Believe
Is
me.
it?
Oh my God.
He's gonna have
Yes.
to type it.
Only
down.
Dwayne.
On.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
of course, living in
Hey.
Niagara Falls too. I mean, you
Hey,
drive
Ray.
around there at night in the winter. There's families walking across the street in the snow. There's so many skunks there.
You have
They
a
love
ton of
him.
skunks here.
They
You
love
know, in
him.
Virginia
Just
has
type
more
out your story,
skunks
Wayne.
than everybody. Lynchburg, Madison, Roanoke, they have more skunks. They're every 2 feet, I swear to you. And you can't go anywhere in Virginia in the summertime or the wintertime without smelling them because somebody has hit them on a road. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's pretty much out here.
horrible.
Yeah, because you don't
They're
get
so fun
cold
with
there,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Ours hibernate up here, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Ours don't. Georgia has skunks. They don't hibernate.
Although the trash pandas, I think,
No,
are
they
still
don't.
walking
No,
around.
The damn pool cats don't hibernate in Georgia. Oh, it's Antoine's, by the way. I had the wrong restaurant.
It is that. That's what I said to you. Was
It
his
was
name
Antoine.
Antoine? I
See,
thought
right?
so.
Okay.
We were talking vampires last night because my guest, her name's Varla Ventura, and she writes about all this stuff like mermaids and
I love her
vampires and
name.
werewolves. And so I said Joe has talked about this restaurant, and she hadn't heard of it before. And I said I think it's called Antoine. So I'm glad you confirmed
Yeah,
it.
no, it's Antoine.
I think it's been in many paranormal shows as well.
Mhm.
Yes, I've been
Yeah.
in it a few times.
Wow.
It's I mean, it's in an old part of the city. It's old.
But
I mean, compared to Europe, it's young, but compared to the United States, it's really old, 300 plus years. So it's
That's amazing.
Joe will eat anything though.
And it's always been called Antoine's, and it's the same guy in all the
been
pictures.
Antoine for I think 150 years,
That's
if I remember.
exact.
Wow.
I'd have to go look it up to be 100% sure, but it's they've been the same family. There's 4 restaurants in New Orleans that are over 100 years old.
Wow.
And, they've been around
How's
for a
the
while.
zoo there? Isn't this the zoo? You know, when y'all had a hurricane one year, not Katrina, it was before Katrina, and it was so bad, the flooding was so bad, they were asking other zoos around y'all to take the animals because they
Well,
needed
they got all
them.
the animals back, but our problem was all the parakeets and parrots broke loose, and for like 10 years, the
Yeah.
trees have just been full of parrots and parakeets, which is really pretty, but they've been
That's
trying
kind
to
of
catch
sad.
them. Yeah, I think it's pretty, but they consider them a nuisance animal for some reason. It's,
Florida's got the same problem. The parrot jungle, everybody got loose in their parrots everywhere in Florida.
This is
Everywhere.
a great Halloween show.
Hey man, the Halloweens and damn parrots are scary.
Wayne
There's
says you
very
can tell
scared.
the story better, Michelle, then he can type it.
I decorated the house. I try every year to do it different because, you know, the ADHD in me doesn't like it. same.
say
Yeah, it's got to be different every year. But I did it as birds, like Hitchcock's Birds
Very
one year.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done some pretty scary houses, but the one year that I did the birds scared everybody. Like it wigged everybody out just walking by the house, just with the birds lined
Wow.
up. So birds
Yeah.
are like clowns for some people.
Birds are like clowns.
We did skeletons
I
with
agree.
fairy wings
You
this
fucking
year.
clowns are scary, man. What y'all talking
All
about?
around the house, outside skeletons. So,
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
skeletons of shit too.
There's a guy up here in the mountains. It's one of the back roads going toward Gainesville, so we have to go northeast to go up there. And the apple orchards are out there. And there's this giant wolf man. I'm not kidding you. And he's animated. And he opens and shuts his jaw and everything. And he's in the, you know, we put him on my Facebook last year. Totally cool. And you go right by him on the road. You go, whoa, whoa, he's huge. And I made Preston pull over. Look. You know, I had to take pictures of him. It's so cool. Out in the middle of nowhere. Just
Preston's like, yeah, we're in the mountains of Georgia in the middle of nowhere. Why do we want to stop?
I have a question. Okay, so we talked about this last night too, but we never came to a consensus. What do you guys think dogmen are? Some people say they're dogmen and werewolves. Some people think they're dimensional. What do you think they are?
I know what they are. You want to know?
Thank you, Dolly. Good. Okay, what do you think they are?
They're ETs, they're entities, and they
Okay.
are the same guys as Ra. They're
Oh,
dogs.
You mean Anubis?
didn't we have a race of
Anubis.
humans? Like thousands upon thousands of, not humans, sorry. We had dog people here, did we not? If I understand
They
correctly.
call them wolf people in
Yeah, wolf
Canada.
people. Yeah, they're
Or wolves
you know,
that
we have-
walk upright. You know, they wolf people.
everybody
tradition.
sees from whatever their colloquial consensus is in their brain that they've been brought up with. Okay, so wolves, you know, in certain parts of the countries that'll be wolves and they'll go, oh, wolves, you know, lair wolves or whatever, and in some parts of the Middle East they'll see them and they go, yeah, there it is, Anubis, no kidding, you know, but they exist, they're real, they exist. Yep.
Yeah, I talked to Linda Godfrey. She's kind of the go-to researcher. It was until she passed.
Yeah.
She's the one who popularized it with her book, The Beast of Bray Road.
Yeah.
And I finally started getting Dogman stories, and I kind of put them on the back burner because I wasn't sure what to think of it. I'm like, really, Wolfman, dog people? I don't know.
I listen to people that get stories sent in, like when I love to work on resin at night when it's late. So I'm always listening to something, and I've kind of gotten hooked on Donovan Dread, and I don't know if it's his wife or partner, Lilith Dread, and people supposedly send in stories, and I don't know where he shares them, but they'll ask, like, does anybody know what this is? And a lot of people seem to be running into, again, skinwalkers or dogmen.
What is it?
You
What
go,
are we
Joe,
looking-
what are you doing, Joe? Back up a little bit.
That is the French Quarter or the cathedral live right now.
Yes.
Look at the fog going around.
Oh my
it.
God.
That's
Oh.
live
Look at
right
the
now.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool for
Wow.
Halloween night.
Bill got a
That's,
cold front going through, right?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that, and that's what it is. The city gets weird out.
That is
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, a friend of mine said,
Yeah.
"Hey, take a look, take a look."
Yeah,
So
we're
he
going
took a
down to
look.
27 tonight. I'm all weirded out about it.
Ooh, it ain't getting that cold here. I think it's getting
Oh,
like
no.
26.
You better
Yeah.
not come visit us in Canada. You're going to freeze your butt.
It's supposed
I
to
live in the
snow.
South for a reason. Because it's
Yeah.
warm
In
down
the
here.
South, exactly. Thank you, Joe. I'm here for a reason. I lived the first part of my life on my grandparents' farm in Wisconsin.
Oh, then, okay. You're
52
practically
below.
Canadian. You're
No,
practically Canadian then.
almost. Yeah, you're right. I almost am. And we came south. Thank you. It's good here. Where we're at, it's really, we had -8 last year a couple times, a -4. We had like 2 straight months of really, really low.
Oh, my heart's breaking for
Yeah,
you right
yeah,
now.
I'm sure.
It's bleeding.
I'm minus
Yeah.
50, and there's no difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius.
So
And then
wait,
it's
so
up to
back
110
to the fog for a minute. All you psychics in here with me tonight. So if y'all were in this fog, I mean, this fog attack it
Yeah,
links the entire Boucret, the old French Quarter.
yeah.
When you hear me refer to the Boucret, I'm just talking about the old quarter, not all the bullshit around it. It's you know,
Are
3
you
blocks
getting more paranormal activity, Joe? Because remember you said Katrina kind of cleared it out because that looks
everywhere but the old city. So real quick. So what happened with Katrina? Katrina forced anything that was outside the old city back into the old city because it's high ground. It's above sea level, so it didn't flood. So the Boucret itself and parts of Old St. Charles didn't flood, but everything else was in at least 8 to 10 feet of salt water. So if he was a ghost or spirit, he was probably looking to move somewhere else at the time. So it seemed like it all concentrated back into the city itself on nights like tonight. And all the fog is all connecting all the old buildings and all the old streets and everything together. And you should be able to sense it. I mean, we've seen some wicked stuff down there on nights like this. What's really weird, though, is when you see the fog separate in front of you, but there's nothing in front of you, especially when you know there's fog separating in front of you and there's a wall coming up and it's still separating in front of you. Okay, what is this? Not as bad as the night on the beach with the aliens. That was worse.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh, we got a baby.
Yeah.
Is that the one that was feral, Dolly? But yeah.
Yeah.
I have a cat that looks like a munchkin and it's not. And I've had people ask me, I had one guest say to me, oh my gosh, like, where did you get her from? Like, I know so many people that would want her. And I go, she was just a freak accident. Like, because we had the whole litter. She just turned into a little peanut.
Now she has no tail. And I thought it kind of got pulled off by an animal. And the owner said, no, she was born that way. The whole litter was. Yeah, little munchkin cat with no tail.
We'll have a
She's
little
got
bobcat
that
in it.
face. She looks like Bat Cat, you know, and she's a mess. So she's a mess. The dog and the cat now are starting to make friends, and they'll go face to face. But every now and then, she rules this house because the dog will be trying to get to her bowl, and she's like, no, you're not. You know, so we've got 3 pounds and 150 pounds looking at each other in the kitchen, and she'll go all the way around her to avoid her. So, yeah.
She needs to come to my house to teach my cats that, because my dog has such a strong prey drive and she thinks she's the same size. So I have to teach. She knows what leave it means. But I keep telling these cats, like, you have claws. All you have to do is just one little swipe, and they'll not do it. They don't bite or scratch, right? So,
yeah, it's crazy. I know. She wants something. What do you want? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. You have to be on my
Where's your
lap.
babies, Joe?
Do what?
Where's your baby?
Mine are actually, because it's kind of cold in the house right now, mine are actually staying in the bed where they want to be.
Oh, yeah.
They're staying. They'll come logging around. If I'm going too long, one will come in here looking at me. Fiona will start coming whining next to me like, Dad, what are you doing? You know it's time to go to bed, right? Come get in bed.
Yeah.
I'll go do something, go in the kitchen, she'll follow me. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, leave me alone, dog. Lay down, leave me alone.
I had the grand puppies on the weekend, and their dads go to bed at a regular hour, but they've learned now when they come here, don't even start that crap with me because I'm up half the night anyway. So they know whenever grandma goes to bed, that's finally when you guys are going to bed.
I have a rule. Don't get within 2 feet of my feet because I will fling you off the bed. That's it. Bye. See ya.
Well, she's just trying to force her little will on me. It doesn't matter what time it is. When she thinks I should be in there, she's coming to get my ass. Get up on the show. She knows the show. She's like a friend. It's time to go. Get your ass off the radio. Let's go. She'll start standing on my feet, looking at me, and then she'll whine. So when they'll say, "Go lay down," and she'll look at me again until 2 or 3 times. Then she'll go, or Linda will holler, and she'll go in the other room. You know, like, you little rat. Yeah, she's bad, man.
Duchess loves Preston. She sleeps with him at night now. That's Preston.
Actually, we got some cool comments here. Wayne says there was a woman who stayed at our bed and breakfast a number of years ago who grew up watching the wolves that walk upright passed across the back of her parents' farm property.
That same woman, I'm sure it's the same woman because I don't know too many who would have this. Well, it was her grandparents. I heard the same story. And Laura Lee was up in Laura and Carrie Lynn up in Laura, out your neck of the woods. Yeah.
Interesting.
Not far. Laura is, close to your Laura Lee, but not far from Carrie Lynn's, ironically. There you go, Carrie Lynn.
Alora.
Alora?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
know.
know.
There's lots of fog down here if y'all like to play in the fog. I mean,
I think it would be closer to the zoo, I think, Alora, isn't it?
No, Laura's just north of Guelph.
Okay, well, I'm in Thunder Bay, though, so I'm...
Yeah, I know, but I'm just explaining to you where it is.
Oh, okay.
Because you're in Ontario.
How big is the zoo where y'all are at? Is it really big? Many animals? I mean, because
the zoo.
your zoo that's up there.
Well, we
Oh,
have
there's one in Toronto.
Toronto's got a really, really big zoo, but that's like quite a
Mr.
ways
King's
away.
daughter's
It's in
Good hour.
Oshawa. It's not even really
Yeah.
Toronto. It's on the border of Oshawa.
Right?
Yeah, but it's a good hour away. So
We had a different.
We've never been.
here. We had
No?
No, you should go.
Not going to upload this, is it?
Yeah.
we had a different zoo here. It was all on northern Ontario animals that had either been, nursed back to health or couldn't go back to the wild. So we had moose, we had deer, beaver, a whole bunch. It was beautiful to be able to see them. And then I guess they ran out of money or something. So I don't know if they went to other zoos.
COVID is what did us in. We had to shut down. All our animals went to other bigger zoos or sanctuaries, and our tigers. We had 33 tigers with original DNA. We worked with World Wildlife Fund to breed them back into the wild. It takes 4 generations to breed one back, and so they had to go into the programs wherever we could find to put them in. And then I had 2 tigers, and they were there in Arkansas, and both had to be spayed and neutered before they could take them. And it kind of broke my heart because one of them is a beautiful tiger. She's white, but she has original DNA. And people used to believe that it was inbreeding that caused that. It's not. They throw them naturally in the wild, white tigers. And it's becoming more and more prevalent. And they're trying to figure out why it's happening now. And I think it's just the radiation we're taking that's causing the DNA to do that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And but yeah, and I had a personal cat. I had a bobcat that was brought to us. 4 weeks old. Mother got killed on a construction site, and I raised her, and I named her Prissy. And I couldn't bring her over the state line. They wouldn't give me permit to do that. So she's with friends in Florida, and I just found out that I'm not going to get a permit in Georgia for her. So I'm like,
oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, she's good though. She's happy, and she thought she was a real cat. Like a dog cat, like a human, like you would raise in your own house. She was so tame and so sweet that we used to let people, I'd walk her around with me wherever I went in the park, and we had 50 acres, okay? And instead of keeping her bound up all day long, and then we built her an enclosure. It was about 450 feet by, a couple hundred feet. And we dug her a pond, and she had her own little cave and all that kind of stuff. And people would watch me go in there, and I'd sit on my little bench, and she'd play with me and stuff. So I became part of the attraction with her, and she's good. Now she lives on 100 acres, and she's pretty much, they have huge high fences. They're electrified. She can't get out, but she has 100 acres to run on, so that's good.
Oh, that's
Have fun.
I gotta go. Good night, guys. Happy
Good night.
Halloween.
Good night, Amelia.
Night.
Bye.
And that's my cue. I was going to go off 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, me too. I need to tap out too.
Oh my God.
That's
I
yeah,
got
trouble.
to get going too.
Yeah.
I need to have my dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner.
We treated ourselves, and I haven't had it yet, so it's sitting.
Yeah.
Damn,
That
that's true. I
works.
didn't even realize it's 9 o'clock. Shit.
Happy
You skipped
Halloween,
it.
everybody.
It's after that. I know.
Yeah, for y'all, it's later.
He's an hour behind Eastern time.
Dolly and
Yeah, it's
Preston,
right. I
it
forget
is
what
a
time it is
pleasure to have met
Yes.
you. I'd
Yeah.
love to have you on the show sometime. You guys are so fascinating.
Yeah, you as well, okay?
Okay, I'm going to send you a friend request, Dolly. I
Everybody is
must
welcome
have
on
sent
the
you my
website.
travels.
Everybody. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye. I must have sent you Preston one before, but Dolly, I realized I didn't have you, so I will.
Okay.
Much love to everybody. Y'all have a good
That'll be good.
See you later. Bye-night.
night.
Good night.
Night.
Joe's Donut did me in. I gotta go eat now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dan Howard, that's my dinner, right?
Yeah, I need to go have my dinner. Have a good night,
Nice
everybody.
meeting
Thank
you.
you.
Happy Halloween.
I'm going to pop over here too.
I don't think it's going to let me off. Yeah.
There you
Yes,
go. I'm going
You
to.
behave.
I'm trying to get out of here.
No, I'm just waiting for you because I'm gonna set the thing. By the way, I liked your makeup. I meant to say that earlier when I came in.
It's all good. Thank you. Have a good night, Joe.
You too, boo. All right, let's see. Save up.